what's up to the crew? Please confirm if you can hear me loud and clear, if you can see my face, and let me know if you are here. Let's keep it hot. We got a jam-packed session today. As always, let's go. Jonathan in the building. Thank you for joining, brother. I do believe your second live stream of mine. And let's go. Mr. Gabriel Next FX in the building. We got OGs in the building. We got Baruch. Let's go. OGs in the building. So I hope you'll help me along as I do the technical analysis. First, we're going to start off by getting in the zone with some Bitcoin, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, and then we're going to go straight into two very important tutorials. One of them on CME gaps, one of them on parallel channels. We are continuing our learning. We're then going to go into some market charts and some news, fundamentals, and of course, some altcoin trading. So keep it hot. Let me know if you're here. Let me know how you're feeling. And I'm thinking we're going to do a giveaway. I've got a lovely giveaway for the crew today. So keep it hot, smash those likes, share the stream, and I will start to deliver the password letter by letter for the giveaway. All right, so let's start first with getting some tunes going. Please confirm for me if you can hear my tunes loud and clear, if they are not too loud for my voice. And please confirm if you can now see my charts. And what up, what up? So lovely to be here with my crew. This is my favorite place to be, analyzing the charts with my family. Sahid, welcome, welcome. Lovely to have you, brother. Let me know how long you've been trading. Mustafa in the building, active and ready. Loud and clear. All right, can you hear the beats? Are they the right volume? Let me know if they're too loud or if everything is good. All right, it's clear. So no time to waste. I'm going to go straight into some technical analysis on Bitcoin. We're starting on the daily time frame. And of course, my major point of interest at the moment, as most of you know who have been following my analysis, is of course the current golden pocket from the previous range trend. So let's start by focusing on that. We can see that with the recent tariff information coming out, very high tariffs coming out from Trump, we're going to speak about that, but we have been coming closer and closer and closer. Weeks ago, everybody said, no way, you are crazy for looking at this level, and look at that. We almost came down to the start of my liquidity zone, which is the golden pocket. So for those of you who haven't been around, let me quickly show you how I came to this level and why I'm looking at this level for a major trade. There is a lot of confluence there. Please do go watch my Fibonacci extension and retracement tutorial if you want the best info on this that you can get. I do believe it has been a game changer for many of the traders in my community. All right, so very, very simple Fibonacci retracement, 2 points from the bottom of the previous range to the top of the current range. Couldn't get more simple. Bottom to top, and boom, we can then see the space between our 0.618 and our 0.786, giving us our Fibonacci golden pocket from the current trend. Boom, we can see how this level has been front run. In my opinion, this is a sign that we could in future still come down to sweep this level. Most of you do know that a front run of a major level can cause that level to be filled in future. We are seeing some nice bullish news coming out now with Trump pausing tariffs for 90 days, reducing tariffs on those countries that are agreeable and interested in having agreements with Trump. He's playing with the global markets. He's shaking out all of the weaker paper hands so that his billionaire chums can invest in these kinds of assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, all of these beautiful, fundamentally useful altcoins at lower levels, right? This has been an extremely strategic dumping. He does want to pump these kinds of assets high up, but he first wanted to bring them down to shake out the paper hands. And I hope everybody enjoyed my short video that I released on diamond hands. I truly do believe in every word I said there, and thank you for all of the support. All right, so very, very clearly you can see that I am looking for the lower section of this golden pocket round about 66K on BTC for a beautiful entry into a long trade. And let me just show you a couple levels of confluence there. Of course, we do have the previous local top resistance number one, confluence. We also have the order block on the SMC, the smart money concept trading strategy, a beautiful risk managed, highly profitable, high win rate trading strategy. We also then have the scene of the crime. I'm not going to go too much into detail on these today. We've got a lot to get through, but this is a major level for institutional investors. And we have been speaking about this for months. As we broke through this level, I said, you know what, we're gonna come back to test it. It has now been, 155 days since we started speaking about the scene of the crime, which is a major level for institutional investors. I said, keep in mind, institutional investors are putting major limit orders in this zone because here is major resistance, here is major resistance, here is major resistance broken. But we never did come down to retest it. We can see just how bullish the institutional traders are in that zone as we actually now front run that zone. If we come up to the wicks of that scene of the crime, we can see the serial killer came back, but he did not quite visit the exact scene of the crime. Is everybody with me? All right, so we've got a beautiful bunch of levels of confluence there, and of course we can see the middle of the golden pocket sitting nicely around 69,000 in line with that smart money concept order block. And then we also have the bottom of this beautiful golden pocket sitting right in line with our previous POC. As I said, I'm not going to go too much into detail on this. One thing I do want to mention is, of course, the major golden pocket of the larger trend. Very important to keep in mind that if we do break below this golden pocket, we should see a beautiful amount of support and a beautiful bounce if we do enter into that zone. But if we break it, it's important to be aware of the next major level, and for me that would be the golden pocket of the Fibonacci retracement all the way from our lows around 15,400 all the way up to our highs around 110k, and that is very easy to draw in. All we do is take our retracement literally from the bottom to the top. And you know what, sometimes it's good to be realistic, sometimes it's good to be scared, right? The fear should make you realistic, and it should actually cause greed. And if you're realistic, you will learn that when price dumps, you actually start to become greedy. And we can see that the actual golden pocket of the entire uptrend that we have seen over the last few months could come all the way down to $30,000. Nice little fake out below $30,000, and that could still technically be an uptrend. I have been saying this could be something similar to the previous market, but on a much larger scale. This is what happens. This market is fractalized. Every single cycle does seem to increase in size and dwarf the last one, and I want you to keep realistic. This is a possibility, but we take it as it comes, and we first see if this level does hold us up to continue our beautiful market structure of higher highs and higher lows, and on the way all the way to, of course, our Fibonacci extension. I've been through this before, but it's very important to keep in mind. So for those who haven't been here, let me draw it in one more time, and let me be very nice and clear and simple here for the crew. All right, is everybody here? Is everybody listening? Let's go. Aika, Jonathan, beautiful, Mustafa, Sahid. Keep the chat hot. Don't just be lurkers. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what you're thinking, and let me know what you need. Of course, let me know if you have any ideas on the charts to go through. If you want to share your charts with me, you can open up my Discord. The link is in the description, and share your charts under the live stream charts channel. All right, what I want to show you now is very simple. Most of you will have seen it before, but very important to keep in mind. Have a look at the previous market Fibonacci retracement from the bottom of the previous bull market to the top of the previous bull market. Pull it across, and what you will see is, of course, it was the Fibonacci golden pocket zone, which held us up with a little bit of a fake out below the 786. Very important to keep in mind. Once you first find your beautiful pivot at the golden pocket for the next uptrend, you can then go in and draw your Fibonacci extension. I hope everybody is following me. First, you do Fibonacci retracement. If you find significance at the golden pocket, you use that golden pocket as your pivot point. This is part of the golden pocket theory, and it is absolutely beautiful. It is one of the major theories that most traders use in crypto trading. All right, so now that we know that this was a golden pocket pivot, of course we come and we use our slightly more complex Fibonacci extension tool, and you want to give yourself a little bit of room when you are using this tool, because of course this is looking at future levels for price action. It's quite simple. It takes 3 clicks, one at the bottom of the previous market, one at the top of the previous market, and then all the way down to that specific Fibonacci golden pivot ratio point at that little fakey previous golden pocket, little fakey below the 0.786. That takes us up, and we can see just how beautifully significant these levels have been. You cannot make this up. Fibonacci is magic, and we can see these levels playing out absolutely to the dollar as resistance broken, support, resistance broken, all the way up, resistance, support, resistance, etc., etc. Absolutely vital to draw these levels into your charts and to be aware of them. A very bullish thing that we can see, and one of the reasons I do think that this bull market is not yet nearly over, is of course we can see a front run of the 1.618 level in this premature bullish overpumpageness of Trump saying let's make crypto great again, all of this stuff, using crypto to his own political gain. He managed to pump us prematurely above this beautiful 1 level, right? Scene of the crime. We have now come back to test it. I also believe it was a bit of a premature pump above this level. We were testing it. Makes sense that we broke out from it, but we have not yet come back to retest it. Hold me to this. It is on the cards, unless Trump just keeps pumping everything. Because of these tariffs, they are shaking up the market. I can see us coming back to actually test that 66,000 level of the 0.786 extension. Okay, then to be very clear, we can see a front run of the 1.618, which is sitting up around about 120k for Bitcoin. This is very bullish. We can also then see our next level, which for me is a level that we could very realistically hit within this bull market and could actually be a top for this cycle. And this is sitting around about $187,000 all the way up at the 2.618 extension. All right, another level of confluence for a first knock of our 1.618 at 120k would be a nice break of the bullish flag that we are currently seeing on Bitcoin on the daily. I do not want you to get over bullish, right? I want you to remember the 30k bottom so that anything you are doing is risk managed. I'm going to speak a little bit about risk management today when I'm doing my tutorials, but we can see something pretty bullish here, which is in general a lovely flag pattern that could indeed play out to some very nice high levels. If we extrapolate price target for this flag, we could see something around the levels that we have been looking at for the 1.618 extension, round about 120,000. When you see technical analysis giving you coincidences, right, in trading we call them confluence, and this is not something to be ignored. I do believe that if we manage to break our 106k crucial resistance and actually retest it with some beautiful support, we will very easily see the 120k level, which, as most of you know, could cause some beautiful FOMO into the markets to push us up to higher levels. All right, so keep it hot in the chat. Let me know who's here, who's watching. If you are watching on Twitter, please come through to YouTube. Help us smash that like button and let's get to our goal. I see more viewers than likes. Let me bring up the banner. If we hit 50 likes, I will release my beautiful giveaway for y'all. Today it is a little bit larger because I'm feeling generous and I'm loving the support that the crew is giving me. So I want to give back to you. So let me drop the first letter in the giveaway, and it is a capital O. right? A little bit of a complex password today because there is a capital O and there is also a 0. But this one is the letter O, the capital letter O. Jess is in the building. Welcome to the crew. And thank you for the support, as always, so much appreciated. All right, Mustafa is following. Please do keep that chat hot. I know it's Thursday afternoon. A lot of y'all want to be walking on the beach or going to swimming practice, soccer practice with your kids, etc. I appreciate you being here. Let's move because I've got a lot to do today. All right, the next thing I want to look at is this daily channel, 4-hour channel. Very important. Massive levels of confluence that we are seeing, and we are going to be doing a very important tutorial today on parallel channels, which I will be turning into a step-by-step tutorial which you can use to recap for your own convenience at any time. So first of all, on the daily channel, let's just quickly draw this in. I'm going to be quite quick about it because we will be doing an in-depth tutorial on this shortly, but we can see right now that we are currently testing the ultimate resistance. Of course, this is a space where you could be entertaining the idea of a short trade. It looks slightly too late, but we can see the tweezer top happening, we can see the blood coming in, we can see resistance happening, and anyone who has shorted this resistance in the previous few weeks has of course been extremely profitable, at least down to the median line, and if they're even more on it, all the way down to the resistance, to the support. And we can also see nicely now how if more bearish fundamental news comes in, we can see this beautiful support sitting all the way down here, coinciding with the golden pocket that we were just talking about. All right, so very important to draw this channel into your charts. It's absolutely essential at the moment. As we can see, it is the channel that BTC is currently seeing as the most significant, and testing the levels, it does look like there could be an opportunity here for a bullish accumulation within the channel towards a breakout, or if more bad fundamental news comes in, we could just see more wreckage back to the median and of course back to the bottom. Very nice lines, very nice opportunities, and I do believe the CPI data just came out as slightly lower, which is slightly bullish. All right, we're going to talk about that just now when we talk about fundamentals. I just want to get through the TA. And thank you so much everybody for being here. I love to be here with my crew. All right, following, let's go. Jonathan, lovely to have you. Mustafa, thank you for joining. All right, let's keep it hot, y'all. Let me know any of your OGTA. Mr. Gabriel, I know that you are a professional trader. Let us know what's up. All right. So I'm also going to be doing a tutorial today on CME gaps. Very important to note the current CME gap. Has it been filled? Very close. Let's go. There's a beautiful gap here and let's have a look. Oh, it looks like it was filled absolutely to the dollar. Amazing stuff. So we will go through this in more detail shortly. But look at that. Absolutely incredible. CME gap filled absolutely to the dollar. You cannot go wrong with this strategy. I'm going to go in detail into that strategy shortly. All right, we are doing very well. 20 minutes in and I've covered a lot of the current BTC TA. I'm just going to look at a couple of different little scenarios here before we move into the first tutorial. And I also want to look at, of course, the fixed range volume profile. Let me know if anybody has been enjoying that fixed range volume profile tutorial. All right, so in order to do our scenarios, we just need to draw in a few lines. First is that major crucial support that we did lose, round about 92K. I also like to draw in our crucial resistance all the way at the top around all-time high, and now we can see a new crucial support zone being created round about $74,000. We have seen a double bottom on the hourly. It does look almost like a daily double bottom has been put in, which would give us a very nice price target all the way back up to 97K. 97K is of course a level that many traders are watching, as it was the major level that we lost to continue our dump towards 76k. There were a lot of spot buy walls from a lot of exchanges at the yesterday's pump. I think we could go lower. Beautiful insight. Thank you so much, Gabriel. So much appreciated. All right, I know it's hot, y'all. It's super, super hot, but let's keep going. Let's push through. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I so appreciate you. All right, gonna be here till the end. Let's go, Biruk. Beautiful stuff. Then you're in line for the giveaway, my brother. Okay, so first of all, just keep that parallel channel in. Make sure you keep your golden pocket in. And let's just put in a few quick scenarios. Remember, we do not try to predict where the markets will go. We watch where the markets go, we identify our points of interest, and we take the trades accordingly. We can see now that one scenario that might play out is, of course, the devastation from the top of this channel all the way back down to the bottom of the channel, which would coincide very nicely with the golden pocket level we have identified, right back into the scene of the crime, into the smart money concept. A lot of beautiful confluence. Do I see Mr. Honest KOL? Thank you for joining, brother. I'm loving your videos. And yes, I'm going to look at ETH and I'm going to look at the weekly RSI, and to be honest, I'm getting bullish, right? ETH is either going to have a beautiful run from here or it's going to die. There was a little bit of a scare where yesterday some were making ETH transactions and they were just disappearing. Some were calling it a covert government hack. Some were calling it the death of Ethereum. I'm not sure exactly how that played out, but very, very interesting. All right, so remember to always make sure you zoom out. I'm not going to do monthly and weekly candle reading today as I've got a lot I want to get to, but make sure you watch the previous stream so you can have a look at the monthly and weekly candle reading. Okay, so first scenario is, of course, we just front run this level. A lot of bullish stuff comes out. We manage to break out. We test it. We go back up to our crucial resistance and all-time high. Boom, we break all-time high. We go up to the confluence of the bull flag and the 1.618 extension. Everybody's happy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Beautiful stuff. We come back down to test all-time high. We go up to 180,000 and all of us get rich. The most bullish scenario we could imagine. All right, on a more bearish note, there are so many different things that could happen, of course, so let's try and stick to what we think is most likely. The other option is, of course, like I said, we get rejected once again back down to the bottom. We see our golden pocket, we get a beautiful pump, and then we break crucial resistance, boom, and then we go up to 120k. Then everybody and their grandma FOMO's in and we go up to 180k. All right, another very possible scenario, do not get me wrong, is that we just dead cat bounce on the golden pocket and we actually fall back below to our major golden pocket of the entire bull market trend, and that's where we get held up and then we create a higher high. What's interesting here is that if we do reach the larger golden pocket of the larger trend, this would technically be a lower low, which means that we could then put in a lower high and actually start a larger bear market. All right, so those are the major scenarios that I'm going to leave it at today. And from here, we're going to move into a tutorial that I will be chopping up into a very nice, easy to use tutorial. We're going to start off with the CME tutorial. I did just want to have a look, of course, at the fixed range volume profile, which has been doing us real justice. Well done to anybody who has been taking these levels. And please do watch the crypto trading tutorials playlist if you don't know how to use your fixed range volume profile. And yeah, I'm not going to go into it right now because you can just watch that tutorial. How beautiful is that? It's step by step, but we can see that we are moving away now from the value area low. Well done to everybody who had the kahunas to enter into this very large value area low level, and I hope you were all very risk managed in your entries there, because as we can see, the volume that is showing is round about the 67k in confluence. Another, I think that's the 5th level of confluence with our golden pocket from the previous range to the top of our current range. Just another level of confluence, and then we can see right here, absolute beautiful stuff, another volume spike, I do believe, right at the bottom of the golden pocket. This is a really nice liquidity zone that I do believe is on the cards, right? Trump is creating absolute rodeo with the global markets. Everyone is in a lot of panic at the moment. If more bearish stuff comes out, we could easily entertain this level and of course eventually break this sniper line for a nice move up. The one bullish thing, if you are getting wrecked from the top, of course take it as a learning. If you were overexposed, take it as a learning. Well done to everybody who entered the short as at the value area high, as it should be, at the beautiful double top, which played out perfectly to its technical price target. TA is not a bunch of nonsense. The more years you do this for, you will realize that technical analysis is absolute magic. I mean, look at that. Let me just take it a little bit slower for those of you who don't know. I will do a tutorial on double tops and double bottoms. Let me quickly add it to my list. Give me 1 second so I don't forget. Alright, I'm just going to say double tops. Beautiful stuff. And we can see here the way to extrapolate the price target from a double top. I'm just going to do this nice and quickly. Is boom. Right, you first identify the neckline. You identify the tops of the mountains. Then you extrapolate the distance from the tops of the mountains down to the neckline. You pull that trend line out from the break of your neckline, and what do we see? To the dollar, boom, double top reached its price target. You cannot make this up. So congratulations to the technical analysts who actually nailed that. You could have entered it, of course, from the value area high where you want to be. You could have also entered it in a very risk managed way at the retest of the neckline. Absolutely lovely. Two beautiful trades from the value area high all the way down 30%. Oh, $106 to $75,000. You could have also entered it in a risk managed way from the retest of that neckline, which is also a juicy 20% down. All right, let's clean it up. I think it's time to go into a tutorial. And don't stress, we're going to do altcoins, we're going to do fundamental analysis, we're also going to do market charts. Very important to look at BTC dominance, to look at the S&P 500 at the moment, etc. But now we're going to focus, so well done to everybody who's here. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pause the music so I can very nicely chop this up into a beautiful tutorial for y'all. And I hope everybody's ready to listen and learn. Let's go. Who's in the building? ETH is a buy. ETH is always a buy on DCA, right? And if you are DCAing, then right now you're just getting some of your lowest buys. And yes, I am going to be adding to my Ethereum trade, which is a 2x long trade. All right, let's go. eFootball. Lovely to have you. Welcome, welcome. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. All right, Gent God in the building. BTC has started a decent rebound, and the next step is to watch for a potential test of the overhead resistance level. I love it. So make sure you join that channel, all right? We're going to talk more about channels shortly. Yeah, I see you, Jonathan. I see you. All right, let me drop the next letter in the giveaway. So the next letter is a capital X. If you missed the first one, make sure you skim through and grab it. Leah, welcome to the stream. Lovely to see you and lovely to be with my crew. Please do smash the likes, share the stream. Let's get to that giveaway goal. All right, but right now we're going to focus, and I hope this is going to be really useful because we use CME gaps all the time, right? They just had a beautiful target for us. And I'm going to take it nice and slow. I'm going to try not to speak too fast. So let's take it easy. All right, is everything clear? I believe we are good. All right, the first thing to understand, obviously, when you talk about CME gaps is the definition of the word CME. This is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. This is a global futures and options exchange. It is one of the largest exchanges that offer trading on high risk assets such as cryptocurrencies, derivatives, and options. For those of you who don't know what futures and derivatives are, you're able to add leverage, which is a contract which actually allows you to increase your risk and potential reward. This can create a huge amount of volume and volatility in the markets. This is why it's very important that we follow this CME chart. All right, very important to understand the reason for our CME gaps is that the Chicago Mercantile Exchange only trades during weekly trading hours in the US. Very important, it does not trade at night and it does not trade during the weekends. So at night it creates small gaps every day, and also during the weekend it creates larger gaps. If there is a big price movement over the weekend, it creates a nice big gap, and this creates an imbalance in our charts. And we're going to talk about the CME gap filling theory, which most traders use to trade this chart. Alright, these gaps which are left as imbalances act as magnets which pull our price back to those levels. Is everybody following me? I don't want to go too fast on this. Let's go, welcome. Beautiful. Abbasifreka, if you're new, I hope you have subscribed to the channel. What a beautiful name. Alright, to recap, the CME gap is from the close of the CME to the open of the CME, either at the next weekday or over the entire weekend, from Friday's close to Monday's open. All right, in crypto trading, we use the gap fill theory, which says that the gaps caused on the CME chart by the open and closes are actually magnets for price, as they are technically imbalances that need to be filled in order for the charts to continue working. Very, very interesting info. Okay, I am fast today. All right. It's because I'm excited. But let me try slow down a little bit. All right, so what I'm going to do now is show you some of these gaps. Very important to find your CME chart. Come to the chart which is titled BTC1 exclamation mark. All right, when I started trading, I was very confused and I couldn't find this chart. BTC1 exclamation mark. This will show you your CME chart. And let's just go back in time to have a look at just how beautifully these gaps are created and filled. You can see this is a chart that I have been using and trading for a very long time. This is OG info. Do not sleep on this info, because it can actually give you profitable trades week in and week out. I'm not going to go too far back right now, but let's start here with this beautiful CME gap that was created right here when Trump decided to really pump the markets by using crypto as his own political push for his own gain. All right, we can see that right here on the daily chart. Absolutely beautiful. On Friday, the 8th of November, 2024, the charts closed at 77,000. I remember this Friday like it was yesterday. The best way, in my opinion, to actually follow these is to draw a rectangle from exactly where that chart closed on the daily time frame. Draw it from the wick and bring that rectangle up to where the chart then opened on the Monday morning. And here we can see it was a beautiful gap all the way from 76,000 all the way to 80,000. Then make sure that you pull this rectangle out. And what's so crazy when you look at the CME history is the absolute high statistical level that these gaps are filled. If you go back in time, you will see that 90 to 97%, depending on the exact chart you are using, 90 to 97% of these gaps are filled in time. And a lot of us who have been using this chart for a long time said, you know what? It is only a matter of time. And lo and behold, have a look that we have recently, of course, filled the bottom of that gap. And this happens time and time again. Let's have a look at another beautiful example right here. We can see that was filled with some extreme violence right here. The CME closed at 93,000. Then again, it opened at 92,000 and continued to dump. It took a little bit of time, but boom, that gap was indeed filled again, and we can see just how much significance this has. Of course, we could do this for days. These gaps are created and these gaps are filled. One nice thing to look at is the absolute recent price action we have seen here. And if we go back to the 4-hour chart, this is so beautiful to see, because in the last weekend, absolutely awesome, we can see the CME closed at 83,000. The CME then opened again at 79,000. It created this massive gap for us, and lo and behold, yesterday, absolutely beautifully, we can see, oh, today, boom, at exactly as the day started for me at 12 a.m., we can see to the dollar that CME gap was filled right to the top of the gap. Do you see how significant, how beautiful this is? This is not something that you can ignore on the charts. All right, let's roll. Thank you, everybody, for your focus. I know this is complicated. All right, we've spoken about the gap fill theory. All right, one thing that I must just stress, and we'll look at it in depth in a little bit, is of course using confluence with other indications. One of them, of course, can be extreme support and resistance. We can see a beautiful level here of support and resistance with beautiful wicks. And of course, trading is all about confluence, confluence, confluence. I cannot stress this enough. Never rely on one sole aspect on the charts or one sole indicator. You always want to have confluence. Let's go, brother. Oh, big ups, man. I'm missing your energy so much. Please come back to Cape Town, and I hope to see you in Dubai for Token 2049. I'm also looking forward to Tomorrowland in Brazil. We are gonna party like we've never partied before. Sponsored by Bybit. Let's go. Thank you for joining, Can. All right, lovely to see the crew here. Can, I love you, brother. Making me emotional. Oh, gonna make me cry. All right, let's go. CME gaps are one of the easiest strategies to use for short-term trades. It is absolutely beautiful for intraday trading. I mean, have a look at this. It literally showed you. It showed you. There's your price target. And I'm going to speak about some of my personal tips for when a gap, when a gap actually opens. I'm going to talk about this for a personal tip for when it keeps dumping. You can, of course, enter from the beautiful support level and then look at that trade. It is absolutely beautiful. But I'm going to try to take this step by step. All right, very, very proud and humbled to hear that. Thank you so much. Lovely to hear from an OG that I am making sense. All right, so let's actually talk about a strategy right now. Once again, the first thing you do to trade this is to take a rectangle and draw your rectangle from exactly where the CME gap started, from where the CME actually closed, all the way down to where the CME then opened again on the Monday. And you pull that rectangle out. Right, the next major thing that I would recommend for when you trade this is to identify a nice support level. You can use Fibonacci retracement for this. You can use your RSI. You can use technical price patterns such as double bottoms, etc. But here we can see even candle reading, a beautiful hammer can tell you to go long, a beautiful bullish engulfing. It's all about your own trading strategy, and it's all about confluence. But here we can see some beautiful confluence for entry at support, at candle reading, and I would always recommend to start taking gradual profits at the beginning of this gap. Most likely the entire gap will be filled, but for those of you who do trade in general, you will know that it's very important to always take profits, right? One of your mantras should be to take profits. If you're taking a screenshot of your trade and you're showing it off to your friends, make sure you're taking profits too, because unrealized profits can disappear before your eyes very quickly and easily. For those of us who have been trading, I'm sure you can attest to this. All right, of course, then our major take profit is, of course, at the end of the gap, or basically where the chart closed on the CME And we can see this one was beautiful. Look at literally the millions of traders who took their final take profit at that level after the double bottom on the 1 hour chart, and some beautiful support, some beautiful candle reading. Boom. One thing to note here is this little gap that did occur, but all good. Let's not talk about the daily ones. Let's not confuse too much. All right, one thing to be, of course, very aware of at all times is risk management when we are trading strategies. We can see that the candle reading and the support, of course, also the daily RSI as well as the 4-hour RSI. If you need to learn RSI, watch my video on it. But we were getting a lot of confluence for an entry at this level. Make sure that you always use a good risk to reward ratio on your trades. So here you can see that if you are going for your ultimate price target at the top of the CME gap, you always want at least a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. So you could have technically brought your stop all the way down to there. I would have brought it somewhere to round about here, of course, below the previous wick swing low, and we can see just how important that would have been if you wanted to get your final take profit. Of course, another very important level of risk management is position sizing. That is a video for another day, but I'll just simply say at this point you should only ever be risking 1% of your trading portfolio at every stop loss. All right, is everybody with me? Is everybody still zoning in? I love to see the crew here. Please do smash those likes. We currently have more viewers than likes, and let's hit that 50 goal. Let's do this giveaway. Absolutely awesome to hear y'all are enjoying. Thank you so much for being here. I do believe this is literally info that can make you money. And we're getting through it. Well done. Well done. All right, some of my personal tips. Number 1, go for the bigger gaps, right? The bigger gaps will give you your bigger take profits. Of course, we can see a little gap here that has not been filled. Awesome stuff. That could be another level we could see. But in my opinion, it is these larger gaps which I would go for to actually give me more take profit. Right? Remember, in crypto, you always want to risk a little bit to earn a lot. You never want to risk a lot to earn a little. Here is a beautiful example where we saw a gap that is decent in size. And what do you know? From the resistance, absolute beautiful move down to fill that total price target. All right, another one of my personal tips on this is to have a look for the large moves that occur away from the gap first, because that will give you a better trade. And we can go back to these two beautiful examples to show that, first of all, here was your gap. But a nice reason to trade this CME gap is how far price pumped first away from the gap to actually confirm the beautiful resistance, because this gives you more space for profitability within your trade. Another beautiful example is, of course, this last trade that we just saw from the previous weekend, where we saw, first of all, a beautiful big gap. But then we also saw that price moved decently, nice and far away from that gap first to give us our beautiful support wick and more space for profit. So I really hope everybody's following. We're almost done. So thank you so much. All right. So just to summarize quickly, the reason these gaps happen is, of course, well, let me actually do this. I don't think we need the chart. To summarize, of course, why these gaps happen is because the CME exchange does not trade on off hours over the weekend. A little bit of a summary on how to trade them, of course, is to wait for a move away from the gap, then find confluence of either support or resistance at a nice gap away from that CME gap. Then use your risk management to enter a trade up to the final take profit at the closure of the full gap, and make sure you take gradual profits along the way. I do believe that covers it all. One more important thing is, of course, to have a rounded strategy. Do not use any one thing. As I have said, make sure you use confluence in your trading. Make sure that every time you open a trade, you can say, I have used a rounded strategy. I have checked the RSI. I have checked the Fibonacci levels. I have strong supports. I know how to read my candles. And if you need to know all of these things, please do watch my crypto trading tutorials playlist. I am also now starting a candle reading playlist, as well as a playlist on how to use exchanges. Literally how to deposit, how to open trades, how to set your stop loss, etc. All right, I do believe that is the first tutorial nailed. Thank you so much, everybody, for your concentration. You are all much noticed and appreciated. Let me know if you're ready to go straight into another tutorial. I'm in the zone, so I think I'm going to do it. And the reason I want to do this next tutorial is because I believe it is an absolute game changer. It is slightly more complicated, right? So just bear with me as we do this. It is going to confuse the newbies a little bit, but it's very important, and this is why I'm going to break it down into a step-by-step shorter tutorial with captions, etc., so you can all hammer it into your brain, tattoo it on the back of your eyelids. Let's go. Lovely to hear, and thank you so much, everybody, for the support as I do the hard work. I do appreciate it so much. Please do smash that like button. Let's go, let's go. And for those of you who are here, let me give the next letter in the giveaway. Oh, dang. Oh, dang. I actually gave the wrong letter for the last one. Oh, okay. So sorry to confuse you, but it's not an X. I'm sorry, the last one is not an X, it is the number 9. It is the number 9. So just another reason why only those of you who are sticking through the whole thing will get it, and the ones who are skimming through will struggle, is that the last one is not an X. That was a mistake. It is the number 9. Alright, let's go straight into it. I'm in the zone. Let's do it. You can see that this one is not simple. This is the next tutorial. It's important. It's important. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Is everybody alive? Is everybody awake? Thank you, everybody. I so appreciate you all being here. Newbie, let's go, let's go. Okay, so this is, of course, a tutorial on parallel channels. This is very, very fundamental to my own trading style and all of the technical analysis that I do. I work with parallel channels every single day, and I do believe that the charts at all times are running within significance within a parallel channel. It is absolutely fundamental, so please try as hard as you can to incorporate this knowledge. If you are new, let it flow over you, trust the journey, and just use the power of repetition to give yourself this learning. And you know what? Play as much as you can. Play as much as you can, experiment, and this is how we learn. We learn by doing, right? We are monkeys. Monkey see, monkey do. This is how we learn. Aika, I'm gonna make you jealous. This is a Bybit journal. I'm gonna make you very jealous with that. I know that. I've been wanting one of these for many years, and thank you to the legendary Can who gifted me one of these beautiful books. Oh, it's not Aika, it's Abu Safreki. I'm gonna make you jealous, my brother. Alright, so first of all is some assumed knowledge. Parallel channels is not for the ultimate beginner. It is more for the intermediate trader, but I want you all to get to that level as quickly as possible. So there is a little bit of assumed knowledge that comes with learning parallel channels. Right? You want to already know how to draw in support and resistance. You want to already know how to use your RSI, your Fibonacci, and your moving averages. Those are all tutorials which are already in my crypto trading tutorials playlist. It is all knowledge which you will need for parallel channels, but you can easily get it by simply watching that playlist on repeat. Ask your questions in the comments and I will get to each and every question that you have. Alright, then also very important to understand which charting platforms to use. I would recommend using TradingView or Bybit for your parallel channels. The reason I would recommend TradingView is because the history will last forever. Some of these parallel channels are very big, and on TradingView you will never lose your trading history. On Bybit sometimes they will update the UI and you can lose some of your charting history. If you need a discount link for TradingView, it's in the description. If you need a link for benefits for Bybit, it's in the description. Alright, first off the bat, we need to understand parallel channels. A parallel channel is simply defined as two parallel trend lines which encapsulate your price. Simple, right? Simple. Okay, important to note a few purposes of the parallel channels. Number one is to identify trend direction. Number two is, of course, to identify your reversal points. Number three, to identify the breakouts from your current trend. And of course, number four, most important, to identify entry and exit points for your trading. How's everybody doing? I'm going to try not go too fast. Alright, some of the major benefits for using parallel channels is that they are extremely useful in volatile markets such as crypto. They help us to understand the trends and to cut out the noise. They also play a strong role in risk management. Very important. They also help us to confirm trends. Alright, we're doing well, y'all. Okay, so now I'm going to show you first of all an example of a beautiful parallel channel. Please keep in mind that in my opinion the best timeframes for parallel channels are the daily, the 4-hour and the 1-hour time frame. Right here we're going to focus in on this beautiful parallel channel that we were seeing in our previous range for Bitcoin. As you can see, it is extremely easy to draw in. It takes 2 seconds. And remember, always confluence. Always try to use another indicator such as your RSI for confluence of your trading when you're using a parallel channel. Alright, thank you so much everybody for following. Y'all are killing it. All good so far. Awesome. The speed is optimal now. I'm understanding. Okay, I'm going a little bit slower. You see, I get too excited. Then I start shouting and I start speeding up. So always just let me know if I'm going too fast and I'll slow it down. But don't stress. This is going to be chopped up into a step-by-step tutorial. And I do believe this is a game changer. When I learned parallel channels, my trading game changed. Alright, so very important is to learn how to draw your parallel channels. Number one, you first need to identify your key support and resistance levels. We do this by seeing pivot points. Remember that our brains are pattern recognition machines. We are built to recognize patterns, and the charts are just shouting patterns at us all the time. Here, of course, in retrospect, we can see so many beautiful pivot points that it makes it very, very easy. The ideal way to draw in these channels is to notice your first pivot points and to try and use those as your parallel levels. Try to find lows and highs within your pivot points. Here we can see some high pivots, and of course we can see some low pivots as well as some beautiful turnarounds at the bottom of the wicks. Very important, try to always use very clear support and resistance when you are drawing in these parallel channels. Here we can see a very, very clear level of resistance. Here we can see a very, very clear level of support. All right, number 2 is to actually then go in and draw in your parallel channels. One thing that can help as a beginner is to first start in an uptrend to look for, all right, let me get this right. In an uptrend, you want to look for your lows. In a downtrend, you want to look for your highs. As we can see here, we were starting a downtrend. So then we want to start by identifying the very clear resistance at our highs. This is just to help as a beginner for when you are learning parallel channels. If we are looking at the opposite, such as a parallel channel within an uptrend, we can try to look for the support. All right, the next thing is, of course, to locate your parallel channel tool. You can actually see here that it is my first tool on my favorites. Make sure that you favorite this tool so that you can easily find it on your favorites bar on TradingView so that you can use it every single day. You can also easily find it here at your drawing tools. Right here under channels. So first come to your trend line drawing tools, find it right here under channels, and make sure that you favorite this indicator. Once you have identified your key resistance, you can grab this drawing tool and actually just draw your first line at your major key resistance levels. Then, of course, you can pull this indicator down and try to find the most touch points for your support levels. There is no exact way to do this. It is finicky and it does require adjustments over time as new info comes in on the price action. We can see initially you might have drawn it at this level here, and as new price action came in, you would have pulled it down slightly further. So happy to hear. Let's go. Let me know if you are following and enjoying. Thank you so much, everybody, for being with me on this steamy Thursday afternoon. All right, let's move. When you are drawing in your parallel line from your top resistance down to your support, try as hard as you can to envelop all of the price action. A nice way to do this, in my opinion, is to try and at least envelop all of the candle bodies. You can also cluster your parallel channels from candle bodies to candle wicks. I'm going to speak a little bit about a pro strategy later on this. Let's go. I love that line. Our brains are indeed pattern recognition machines. If you look at the clouds, you start to see, oh, that's a dragon, that's an ice cream. If you look at a wall and it has a rough texture, you will start to see faces in the wall, faces in the rock face. That is the power of your brain. Use it on the charts. Oh man, I'm loving the crew. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. So awesome to see this concentration. We're doing really well. We're moving through it. Alright, one thing to keep in mind when you are drawing these channels is always to be flexible. Always be ready to adjust them, but always be consistent in the methods you use. Alright, one little tip that I will give. Don't stress about it if you are new to this or if you are struggling with this info already. But one thing that I personally like to do, I've been using parallel channels for many years. One thing I like to do is to drop in more parallel channels which actually define each half into quarters. This is quite simple to do. All you do is you take another parallel channel from your top resistance down to your median line. Then you take another parallel channel from your median line down to your ultimate support. As you can see, these quarter levels within your channels are also extremely significant. This is not 100% necessary, but if you really are moving towards being a pro trader, of course you want to identify these very significant quarter median levels. And you know what? Let me give the pro extra strategy now. So for those of you who are moving towards a pro level, one thing that I like to do is I like to take my top, I'll take out the quarters for now. One thing I like to do is to take my top resistance line to the candle bodies, right? So to my most touch points of candle bodies that I can find. I then like to take the bottom line to my most touch points of candle bodies that I can find. I then like to draw in what I call extreme support and resistance parallel channels. So don't let me confuse you. Basically what that is another smaller little pipeline of a parallel channel from your candle bodies to the top of your wicks, and the same thing down at your bottom support from your most touch points of candle bodies to your biggest wicks. What this will do is give you your extreme entry level points and of course your actual level for the retest at a breakout. This is more of a pro strategy, so take it slow if you are a beginner. Is everybody following? Oh, we're doing so well. I'm so impressed with this crew. We're almost done. The next important thing is to understand how to incorporate this drawing tool into your trading strategy. This is quite simple. We simply look for our short positions at the top of the channel, and we look for our long positions at the bottom of the channel. Of course, you need to use RSI as your confluence for these entries. Please do not use any indicator on its own or any drawing tool. No drawing tool is an island, right? Keep it in your head. Your strategy must have at least 3 to 5 levels of confluence in order to open any trade, which means that if you are coming down to the bottom of your parallel channel, you want to then look for another level of confluence, such as this beautiful bullish divergence which came in on the RSI at oversold. Boom, beautiful trade which worked out absolutely lovely on a 22% up to the short trade, once again playing out at the top of your parallel channel. One step further in integrating your strategy is to of course use a hedge trading strategy where you will keep open your shorts from the top and you will keep open your longs from the bottom until your stop losses are finally hit. And the reason to do this is that one of your trades will go into parabolic profit once the other trade stop loss is hit. This is an OG strategy used by some of the best traders in the world, such as Jason Casper, one of my close mates and one of my absolute trading idols and gurus. All right, don't get confused if you are a newbie. The hedge trading strategy is a little bit more advanced. So let's just quickly have a look. Of course, when you are looking to enter a trade, if you see price coming down to your support, you draw in your trade so that you can identify where your risk to reward ratio should be in order to give you a very nice risk to reward on your trade. You can see here that you of course want your stop loss to be below the previous swing low of that wick with a nice bit of buffer. And that beautiful bullish divergence of course sent price up all the way to the final take profit. Make sure that you are taking gradual profits all the way up along your trades. I like to take my first take profit from the bottom at the first quarter median line, my second take profit at the major median line, third take profit at the third quarter median line, and final take profit at the top. Remember, if you are using the hedge trading strategy, you leave a little bit in this trade in case of a breakout, and you add back to the open trade at the bottom. Right, same thing with the short. You always make sure that you draw it in. You put your stop above the previous swing highs, and you make sure that you have a decent risk to reward ratio down to the bottom. Is everybody still with me? Awesome to see the crew concentrating like this. Well done, well done. Really, really solid work, y'all. We're almost done with the tutorials and we're going to have some fun. But you know what? You got to work hard to play hard, right? Alright, so some tips that I can give are to make sure that you are always using multiple time frame analysis. If you see a channel on the daily, zoom out to the weekly, zoom in to the 4 hour, just to check, is there extra confluence at those levels? And here we can see, boom, on the 4 hour, just how significant these parallel channel levels are, with bullish and bearish divergences, giving us extra significance at those levels. Zoom out to the weekly. Right, if your charts ever confuse you, just go down to your settings and hit auto, and it will align the charts again for you. At the weekly, of course, we can see just how beautiful this parallel channel is, with, oh baby, just net, just wick at the top, beautiful sniper entries, and the same thing at the bottom, lovely sniper entries on your trades. Alright, one thing that you can use is the snap to grid function if you are new, and if you do struggle to find your exact levels, you can use snap to grid so that it helps you to align to the candle bodies or the wicks and give you your levels of most touch points. Yes, we're almost done. Well done, everybody. Doing very well, doing very well. Something very important to note here when you are integrating this into your strategy is that you should be, of course, trading your longs from ultimate support. You should be trading your shorts from ultimate resistance. But at some point, every range will break. And this is where this breakout strategy can come in handy. Of course, you should be in your long from this beautiful double bullish divergence on the daily. I mean, this could not have been given to us on a shinier silver platter. But if you were looking for confluence on keeping your trade open, or if you were wanting to FOMO into this trend in a risk managed way, of course you do not enter at the breakout. We can see here, entering at the breakout would have gotten you rickety wrecked, and we see this all over the charts. Breakout trading is a dangerous way to trade. A lot of beginners fall into the habit of breakout trading when you should be rather trading from extreme support and resistance. The only way to truly trade as a pro trader on breakouts is to, of course, watch for the break of a resistance level and then make sure you see a retest with volume. And right here on the daily, we can see the volume came in on the retest through the fact that we can see those beautiful wicks, and that, of course, could have been a nice entry into the parabolic uptrend. The ultimate entry would have, of course, been here at your ultimate support. Dang, we're doing well. Is everybody still following? Almost done, y'all. Almost done. Alright, very important to recap is, of course, the use of risk management. Every time you enter a trade, you want to make sure that you are using your stop loss. And your stop loss should always be below your previous swing low or swing high. Use multiple time frame analysis to help you here. Another level of risk management is, of course, the 1% rule. In any trade that you are opening, you should only be risking 1% of your trading portfolio at each stop loss. All right. So what I want to do here is go to current price action and just show a few of the examples of how beautifully these do play out. This is our current downtrend on the daily time frame on Bitcoin, and we can see that parallel channel is indeed exactly where it is at right now for profitability. It's absolutely beautiful. We of course are in a highly volatile market at the moment. One of the reasons to use parallel channels, because they help you to cut out the noise and to understand the trend very clearly. We can see here why breakout trading is not a vibe, as many traders were getting wrecked in the breakouts. If you want to know when this trend is truly broken, try to draw in, as I explained, the extra pro level of confluence that I use above the channel from your bodies to your wicks, so that you know that this is only really over when we retest this ultimate wick resistance as support. And you can also do this at the bottom. Those who have been trading the breakouts have been getting wrecked. Those who have been trading the resistance as shorts and trading the support as longs have of course been winning chicken dinnering. And now on current price action, we can indeed see a rejection taking place from the ultimate resistance back down to our median line, and we can also see that there is a possibility of a rejection below this median down to the ultimate support, which is in confluence with our current golden pocket of the larger trend. Boom, we're killing it. So just to recap on some best practices, let's do a quick recap on best practices. Make sure that you always use consistency when drawing in these channels. Make sure that you find your most levels of pivots for the resistance and the support, and make sure that you are always adaptable to new price info. Always make sure that you are tweaking to new price info that comes into the markets. Alright, some of the pitfalls that you can encounter when you are drawing parallel channels. Number one is overdrawing, drawing in too many parallel channels, drawing in parallel channels where there isn't very clear support and resistance. This can just cause more analysis paralysis, and remember that parallel channels are actually there to help you clean the charts, to clear your analysis paralysis. Another pitfall is a lack of confluence, to trade only on a parallel channel. Remember, fundamentals are important. Be aware of your news, be aware of the sentiment, be aware of the sentiment that your RSI is telling you, be aware of your Fibonacci's, your support and resistance levels on a horizontal level also. A reminder, make sure you always use multiple time frames on your channels, as this will help you get the exact levels for your ultimate support and resistance and give you your ultimate entries. Also make sure that you always back test a strategy like this. If this is your first time including parallel channels in your strategy, make sure you back test so you can practice and make it perfect before you start to paper trade or risk any decent funds. Alright, so just to recap, first of all, understand parallel channels, how they work, why they work. Number two, make sure you set up your charts properly. Number three, make sure you understand how to draw them correctly. And of course, always backtest, always use risk management, and be aware of the do's and don'ts. Alright, I do believe we've nailed it. Thank you so much everybody for sticking with me. Yeah, we're doing extremely well today. I'm very impressed. So thank you everybody. Let me know who's been here since the beginning and who's here. Analysis paralysis seems funny term, but it's brutal when it hits. It's true. It's true. Do you see how I always keep my charts as simple as pie? Remember, in essence, we are just monkeys, right? Keep it simple, stupid is one of my favorite terms. Keep it simple. you'll see sometimes your charts start to look like this. Alright, that's when you got to start to worry. I'm getting anxious. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm panicking. There's too many lines. I don't know what's happening. Clear it up, y'all. Keep it simple, stupid. Alright, boom. I think we need to have a bit of fun. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Let's get those tunes back on. Are the tunes loud enough? Let me know. And let's have some fun, right? Almost time to go into altcoins. Very impressed with this crew today. Alright, so we're going to take a little bit of a break now and we're going to look at news articles. I do need to run to the gents. So for now, just keep an eye for me. Let's do this. Let's go to the 1 minute time frame and keep an eye for me on Bitcoin. We have just seen CPI data released, so we are seeing some volatility come into the markets. And please do share the stream, smash the likes, give me 1 minute, right? I will be right back. And then we got a lot to do. We're moving through it, but there's more to come, right? Stick around, I'm coming back. Alright, I'm back. Y'all, let me know if everything is still loud and clear. And thank you for being here. And yes, very important. The markets at the moment are actually running on fundamentals. It is actually news that is moving our market. So now we're going to take some time and we're going to go through some articles that I've selected very quickly, which I believe are fundamental for trading. Let me get rid of this main Abasi Freke. Am I pronouncing that correctly? It's a beautiful, beautiful name. Alright, Bitcoin currently pumping. Look at that. On the 1 minute time frame. Thank you so much, everybody, for the love. So appreciated. You can hear my voice is going, so I'm going to keep drinking some liquids. And it's mostly because I like to shout, right, when I get excited. Alright, so thank you to the Bybit South Africa crew for our beautiful fundamental news analysis events, which have been giving us such amazing insights. And let's see how we're doing for likes. Okay, we're doing pretty well. But let's smash it. Let's smash the like, share the stream. And let me give my next letter in the password. Remember, the X was a mistake, okay? So just try to remember the X was a mistake. But the next letter is a capital A. Capital A. And yeah, it's been crazy. Everything's crazy because I'm going on a global world trip for Bybit, which is a blessing. I'm so blessed. I get to go to Token 2049 in Dubai. I then get to go to Venice. I then get to go to Florence. I'm going to London. I'm then going to Switzerland. I'm going to Amsterdam. to their HQ in Amsterdam. It's gonna be hot, it's gonna be fun, and yeah, I'm gonna create a whole lot of content. Sorry, let me just get this hair out of my face. I've actually got a brand new beautiful pro content creation camera with a built-in gimbal, so the content is going to be getting hotter and hotter. I also recorded a fun unboxing video, so y'all are going to get to see the beauty that is the new DJI. It's absolutely awesome. I mean, to have a gimbal like this, it's so insane. I'll just show you now. So crazy. You can see it has self-stabilization. How crazy is that? And so much fun to have these kinds of tools at your disposal. And you know what, just see it as an inspiration. The only reason I can afford these kinds of beautiful toys is because I have been focusing for many years. All right, let's get it, let's get it. Is everybody ready for the fundamentals? All right, so these are just a few very important things that I think we should all be aware of. Most of you know my absolute favorite cryptocurrency is Cardano. And here we see a really nice prophecy, right? I do believe Charles Hoskinson is a modern prophet. He is a genius. He is one of my favorite philosophers, never mind developers. And he does say here, let's just get down to the point of it, right? There are two new bills that are coming into Congress. The first, a stablecoin bill, is the most likely to pass in the next 30 to 90 days. And the second, a broader market structure bill. So this means that we will be seeing less volatility if we get these market structure bills. But what we will be seeing is a massive influx of adoption. And this is what Hoskinson has said. Hoskinson has called many crazy predictions in the market before, right? I do believe Cardano, in my opinion, is the most fundamentally useful coin to ever exist. And the best DAO, the best, most well-run DAO in existence. All right, after these two bills pass, Apple, Microsoft, Google, and Facebook will say, hey, we are crypto people. We are crypto people now. And of course, a huge influx. All right, let's not take too long. For those of you who were trading on Liberation Day, this is when we saw such a massive, massive dump, right? 2.61 trillion is the new market cap. Well, we've come up a little bit since then. But effectively, 160 billion was erased from the crypto market overnight. Absolutely crazy. And yeah, feel free to read these articles in your own time. I'm going to go quickly through them. And this is quite cool. Some of the US lawmakers are also, because of Trump's positivity when it comes to crypto, passing some of these bills that are going to make it easier for everyone to use crypto, like this bill, which now allows you to have crypto within your retirement fund in the US. And this is pretty cool. BlackRock is now going to become a crypto asset firm in the UK. Global adoption is kicking off. This is really interesting. So tomorrow, I really wanted to live stream and live trade this, but I think I might be touching some grass, starting to prepare for my trip. So I'm not sure I will live trade this tomorrow, but just keep in mind, an amazing thing to watch if you can, right? There's going to be the first SEC round table on crypto, which is a publicly open event where you can actually ask questions online. You can actually go in person. This is awesome. This is the first of this kind of event we have ever seen in the crypto market. Hearing the public's concerns and suggestions helps the SEC create a clear, sensible, and fair path forward. This is the most positivity we have ever heard from the SEC. Of course, Gary Gensler is long gone, and in comes the new era, right? The young blood to make crypto great. And yeah, I mean, this is just so awesome. I will at least be watching this live. It's so great. All right, not going to spend too much time. This is really cool. For those of you who are into XRP as much as I am, we'll look at my XRP trade just now. I have added to my XRP trade at a limit order, and we are now back above that entry, which is really nice. But Ripple are doing things all the time. This is why I love them, right? They don't really care about how much the price of Ripple is. They just do stuff. They develop. Same as Cardano. They don't care about price. They make real world action. And they know in future, of course, adoption, real world use cases will drive price up. This is what you should look for in a coin. Don't look for hype, right? What does hype do? Hype dies off and it dumps and it wrecks you. And this is really cool. This is one of the biggest deals we have ever seen in this space. 1.25 billion has been spent for Ripple to acquire this digital asset transaction technology. Hidden road, 3 trillion annually. This is absolutely massive info. All right, and here we saw stocks soar, right? So Trump says one thing, stocks dump. Trump says another thing, stocks soar. He is absolutely on a power trip, playing with the global market, and he knows it's a game, right? He's shaking out weak hands. He's clearing the playing field so that he can build it all back up in his name. And this is a really interesting article. So I'm just going to have a quick look at it. But basically here, we saw that Trump said he would raise tariffs on goods from China even further, right? Because China retaliated. Okay, so Trump first said he's doing 84% tariffs on everyone. We saw S&P dump, we saw NASDAQ dump, we saw crypto get demolished. Then Trump said, you know what? I'm going to suspend them all. And this was his whole plan the whole time, to dump everything and then build it back up and dump it again. It's crazy. But then he said that he's going to suspend tariffs on the countries that are open to doing deals with him. And then he released this, oh, everybody's kissing my ass. I don't know if any of you watched that. It was pretty hilarious. He said, oh, please, sir, can we make a deal? He's like a child, but there is sense to me in what he's doing, right? There is sense in what he's doing. It's crazy, but there's method in the madness. All right, then he said instead he would impose a 10% instead of 84, but China effed up, right? Because China, as soon as he said 84, instead of going to Trump and saying, can we make a deal? Can we do something? They said, we're going to do 125 back at you. And then he said, okay, I'm going to suspend tariffs for 90 days to everyone who's open to it. I'm going to take it down to 10%, except China. Yeah, it's pretty funny. And then the S&P soared, right? All of the altcoins made biggest gains they've seen in months, double-digit gains, really, really awesome. And yeah, I'm not going to spend too much longer on this. Very cool. This is just some news for Tron. Justin Sun just loves to be in the limelight, but basically he had a defamation suit laid against him now for basically he called this one trust insolvent and it wasn't true. Now he's got a defamation suit. It's no biggie. I honestly think this is just publicity. You know, sometimes they say no publicity is bad publicity. Justin Sun is just another headline again, bringing more focus to Tron. And I do think Tron has a very nice road ahead of it. All right, and this is just some cool TA. I always like to look at these TA news articles, right? Because they give us interesting stuff. I'm not saying this should be your TA that you follow. But of course, if there is TA that is being put out in a news article, listen to it, right? Take it with a pinch of salt, but listen to it. And all they were saying here is that we could be seeing the start of a new uptrend and the end of our downtrend because there was a nice double bottom on the hourly chart all the way down at 75K. It's very obvious on the charts. We can see it. Even on the 4 hour, we can see a beautiful double bottom. And then we see a retest of that usual downward sloping channel that we were looking at. And here we can see they're speaking about XRP and Doge making very strong recoveries, which could really have some nice legs. And here we see they called it a bullish outside day candle. It's just a bullish engulfing candle which came in on all of these downtrends, which is very nice. All right, so now what I want to do before we actually get into market charts, I want to just take some time to answer all of those beautiful questions that were given to me on the moving averages tutorial. So let me know if anybody here is live who asked a question on my moving averages tutorial, and I'll make sure I answer your question and give it preference. But market charts are where it's at, super important, and we're going to look at them shortly. All right, who's here? Who's here? Smash the likes. Let me know if you are watching. Ike, thank you for the love. And thank you so much, Biruk. I love it. I got a $10 giveaway from you. Grew it to 93. What? Look at that. But then how did you lose it? Lost it all due to an unexpected tariff war. But what? Was there a lack of risk management? Was there greed involved? What was happening? Because remember, trade with 1%, right? Of course, if it's a gift, you can go throw it in. But once you make profits, $93, you don't risk that $93. You risk a small amount. You risk a little to make a lot. But Abebe, what this is telling me is that you're a natural, right? You're ready to roll. You're good. But you just need to have more risk management. Backtest your strategies a little bit more. Congratulations. That sounds like you're on a good road to glory. Right, so what I'm going to do is actually bring up here. So this is my XRP chart for the current XRP trade. But I'm just going to bring up the moving averages here so I can answer a few questions. They were really, really beautiful questions. I'm not going to be able to answer them all right now. We can see there's a lot of questions. And you can see that from the bottom, I have started answering each question one by one. I am taking my time to go through all of them. But let me know if you asked the question here and I'll try look at it. Oh my gosh, so many questions. But let's just try answer a few of them. Let's see, what are the important questions? Alright, if I'm using a crossover strategy, would switching to EMAs improve responsiveness without increasing false signals? How would you optimize the periods? So basically, if you're using the 50 over the 200, your signals are very far and few between. It does give you the very nice dynamic support and resistance on the 50, but it does get a little bit boring for your intraday trades, which is where you start to bring in your EMA cross. And you can see that you do get a lot more actual trade entries on the EMA cross. All right, not going to spend too long on this, but let's answer a few. Do MA and EMA perform differently on shorter time frames like 1 minute charts? So yes, on the 1 minute chart, you can use your EMAs, but you have to tweak your crosses. The 9/26 does work on the 1 minute chart. I ain't gonna lie, it does work, but it is highly risky and you have to, of course, be a scalper. You have to have a scalping strategy. But I can show you here, even on the 1 second. I mean, let's take it to the 1 minute and you pull up your EMA cross. And if you have a look, you can actually see that it does give you trades. It does give you trade, just like the last cross that occurred. If you entered a long position at the last cross, of course, you would be in profit on your scalp. And we can see profitable short. All right, here, fake out, which is why stop loss always. Oh wait, that was, what? Yep, so there's the fake out to the upside and there's the downwards one which gave you the short, then it gave you the long. And make sure you look for where you are trending, right? There was a nice one, nice short, nice long. This is scalping, this is quick in, quick out. And you can see that you can use this strategy on the 1 minute time frame. It does work. It does work, but it's high risk and you got to use small amounts. You got to increase your risk management. Nice question, nice question. Alright, in what market conditions, trending versus raging, do you find EMAs outperform SMAs? So basically you'll just get way more entries on your EMAs, but you can use them both in ranging and trending markets, 100%. In the ranging market, you want to use your EMAs more because you'll get more entries and exits. Wow, interesting. Wow, nice. So this is why I did select Loving Heart as the winner. He asked some seriously awesome questions. Common moving average settings used by institutional traders. You know what? I wish I knew. I wish I knew, but I'm going to go try find out for you. What is the optimal time frame for setting moving average? So most institutional traders will use the 20 over the 50 on the daily because that is, of course, your golden and your death crosses. How do you adjust your MA strategy in high volatility markets? So that's where it really actually comes in handy to use your EMAs, which are more immediate, right? When the volatility kicks in, You want to use those immediate ones and you want to increase your risk management. Oh, too kind. Thank you, Miguel. Too kind. Biruk. Thank you for clear and precise. Is the bearish cross 9/26 same as 50? So it's similar, but it's not as much of a massive entry, right? It's like a little scalp. You see it cross, you enter a little short, you use a trailing stop, you have a tiny buffer, and you take whatever profits you get very quickly. The death crosses and the golden crosses are longer term trading strategy entries. Yo, I mean, Loving Heart killed it. What are the risks of relying only on moving averages? You will get wrecked. Confluence always. What's the benefit of using weighted moving averages? Loving Heart, are you watching? Because your questions are insane. The benefit of using weighted over EMA or SMA. Okay, so maybe I'll do a tutorial on weighted. Changing the period. Oh man, that's awesome. So you can, of course, change the periods of the EMAs and MAs on your time frame, which is quite a pro thing. Alright, Ahmad, how can combined use of short-term and long-term moving averages help identify? So that's exactly what we do for crossovers. We take a shorter term and we take a longer term. What's this about Trump? Alright, Abasi Freke. Is it like a rolling R, like a R, or is it just a R? Abasi Freke, Ethena. Oh, beautiful name. Are you Nigerian or Ghanaian? It's a beautiful name. Who hates Trump? Who hates Trump like me? Oh, because he got wrecked of his $93, y'all. Oh man. Risk management, y'all. Remember, we were waiting for those tariffs to come out. We knew the exact date the tariffs were coming out. So that's when you literally sit back. You backtest. You backtest your strategy so you know how it works in extreme conditions. You do not risk your hard-earned capital. Oh my gosh, look at all these beautiful questions. Alright, most common time frames are indeed the daily, the 4 hour, and the 1 hour. And then of course you can always use multiple time frame. Like I also love to have the 15 minute and the 1 hour. It depends what time frame you're trading. Alright, what to do if price goes up and down across your moving average with no clear direction? So that's a beautiful question. Basically, when it's doing this above and below, you just sit back and you wait for it to start trending again. We call this a choppy trading zone, and it's a no trading zone. Alright, how do we integrate with other indicators like RSI or MACD? Basically, you just look for the same confluence, right? If your RSI is telling you bullish, your MACD is telling you bullish, and you're getting a bullish crossover, you pull the trigger. Zon, is the 21-day exponential moving average the one beginners should be using? I would use 9/26, right? I always like to use a cross. I never like to use only one. Bureau legend. Thank you for being here, brother. Congrats on your win in the English group. Very cool. Right, nice question. So candle reading does help. Candle reading does help. If you see a bullish crossover and you also see a bullish pattern, like a harami or a bullish engulfing or a hammer, more confluence, right? Jess, so awesome. Jess has been watching me, learning from me for years, and she's killing it. Congratulations. Confirmations to take note of. So the main confirmation is to make sure you look for the retest of that support or resistance. So I'll quickly show you here. It's easiest to see on the 50 over the 200. And basically you just look for where the cross comes in, of course. And then you look for a retest. So here you can see the cross came in, which was very bullish. And then we saw the retest here of the support. And there's your confirmation. Very nice question. Who is that from? Gabriel, of course, of course. Beautiful question. All right, let's go. I think I've answered at least a few of them. Thank you so much, everybody, for your support. All right, what we're going to do now, we're doing very well for time. Lovely to see. And thank you, everybody, for sticking around. Oh, someone's in the building. Next level OG in the making. Husseini, thank you for being here and congratulations on the launching of your new academy. You even have your own building for classes. You've launched your first classes. I'm so impressed. Watch this space. The Al Husseini's going to the moon. Thank you for joining, my brother. Alright, if you're here, drop me a message. Let me know you're still alive. And let's keep it going. The next letter in the password. Hope I don't lose my voice. Alright, but it's a number 5. It's a number 5. You drink some tea, that always helps. Alright, so very important now is most of you have seen the title for this stream is actually that I think the bottom is near. I don't usually say things like that. If I'm honest, I don't usually say things like that. I have a few reasons for this, right? A lot of it is the major confluence that we are seeing. We're seeing up to 5 levels of confluence that this is a beautiful liquidity zone. But then my main reason for saying this statement that I think the bottom is near is actually the market charts, right? The leading indicators before Bitcoin. The charts that will actually tell us what Bitcoin's going to do ahead of time. Christo, welcome. Big ups. Huge shout out to Mr. Christo. Everybody welcome him to the crew. Brand new South African member in the community. And what a lovely human being, I must say. Very good at predicting the charts. We had a VIP private event in South Africa and Christo did take home the cake for the BTC prediction. Congratulations. I do believe you will be receiving that beautiful prize very soon. It's quite a juicy prize. Well done. And I do believe you are also involved in the first South African token CBT OG stuff with Mr. Devault Rosima. Lovely to have you, Mr. Christo. Hopping in at a nice time, and try to also recap if you can. We've gone through a lot of nice info. Alright, a few reasons I'm looking at a potential bottom soon. I'm not saying it's now, but I'm saying I think it's near. I'm saying I think the end of the huge blood is near. First reason for this is Bitcoin dominance. Alright, we can see that the bull flag on Bitcoin dominance is currently playing out. What's so nice is we drew it in here and it is currently literally playing out towards our target. Lovely to see when your analysis does just work out on the charts. And I want to be very clear here with everyone. This is Mr. Honest KOL's level, one of our beautiful community members who has identified this 66% level as being a potential turnaround. I personally think we could see a little bit more blood than this in my own opinion. And to break it down for those of you who are new to using Bitcoin dominance, basically you have to flip it on its head, right? If Bitcoin dominance is going up, technically our altcoin prices are usually going down. If we see these huge dumps in Bitcoin dominance, that is when we have our altcoin seasons. And of course, bring up the Bitcoin dominance cheat sheet. Alright, does everybody know the Bitcoin dominance cheat sheet? I believe we've looked at it quite often, and this will tell you the catalysts for your altcoin seasons and your big altcoin pumps as well as your big Bitcoin moves. Right, and I'll just tell you very simply, if you see Bitcoin dominance going up while Bitcoin is pumping, of course your alts are going to absolutely dump hard. If you see Bitcoin dominance coming down while Bitcoin is going up, remember, Bitcoin has to go up, but if Bitcoin dominance comes down while Bitcoin goes up, that's when you have your altcoin season. I know it's counterintuitive, so bring up the Bitcoin dominance cheat sheet. You can all just simply Google it. All you say is Bitcoin dominance cheat sheet. You can see I've Googled it before. There's this beautiful one here from Mr. Miles Deutscher, and it's very easy, right? These are the main ones you need to drill into your mind. Bitcoin dominance up, Bitcoin price down, alts will dump. Bitcoin dominance down, Bitcoin price up, alt season. And of course, just be aware of when alts will be stable, when alts will go a little bit down, when alts will see a little bit of a pump. Right? Drill this into your mind. It is very important. And then just to be very clear here on the larger analysis, I am actually looking for this green zone, and ultimately I'm looking for quite a lot more blood. I'm not saying it's over, but if we look at the blood on altcoins currently, it's a lot, right? We see altcoin season index is absolutely gnarly. Let's just refresh this to make sure we're getting the latest info. But we can see ENA down 69%. Crazy stuff. We're seeing only 2 altcoins up at all over the last 90 days. This, as most of you know, is one of my major resources for which coins to long, which coins to DCA into, because I believe in investing in the stronger coins, and I believe investing in them when they are down. You buy into the blood, you have conviction in your bets, you have diamond hands, if you haven't seen my latest short video. And here we can see ENA looking juicy. Uni, Pol, Near, Suri, Phil, Render, Doge, Algo, these are some of our most fundamentally useful coins in the market. They are in massive blood because we are close to the end of Bitcoin season. Can you see here that we are in a place to be accumulating your altcoins? Of course, don't go all in 100x on these coins, right? My trades are 2x and they are minimal margin. The lower we come, the more I add to bring my entry down. Make sure you DCA, watch my video on dollar cost averaging bots, because we can see that according to history, these red zones are the absolute best times to invest in crypto. And what we can see is there could be just a little bit more. Right, I said we are near the bottom. Technically, the previous bottom was all the way down here at 3. If that happens, we could see one of the best runs towards altcoin season that we have ever seen. And in my opinion, it is the ultimate resistance that will really send us down. And this is what I want, right? We could easily begin our altcoin season at any time. But if we just see more blood and more blood, we will get one of the biggest altcoin seasons we have ever seen. I say bring it on. Let's run the marathon. Let's see more blood and let's have an even bigger altcoin season. This is why I say the bottom is near. I believe this is the bottom. That is the bottom. When dominance comes there, it's not going to make it above there. We're going to fail. And I love to see it pumping. I love to see it pumping because it's only going to have more energy to break its parabolic trend and fail. So I hope everybody's following me there. Another chart I want to look at for confluence of why this might be close to a bottom is actually a full-on market chart, which is the S&P 500, which is our tech stocks, right? We've been obviously following this chart for many years, and we can see now that, first of all, we were watching this parallel channel like the tutorial that we just did, and we saw the breakout, we saw the retest, and we saw an absolute failure on tariffs, flopping and dropping tariffs, suspended, more tariffs. And now we see one of the biggest daily increases. This might be the biggest daily candle that we have ever seen on tech stocks. This is a hugely bullish engulfing candle, and you can see how we have now tapped that golden pocket zone, right? If you weren't here for the analysis of the golden pocket clusters, let me quickly show you how we got these levels. So first of all, I have drawn in the major support levels here due to the previous local top resistance. Right, I always draw in my previous local top resistance to tell us that is now support, which, I mean, what? That has been nailed to the dollar on the S&P. Absolutely amazing. We can also see here that this is the current golden pocket from bottom to top. Absolutely amazing stuff. This could be the bottom for S&P, but you know what? The markets are so fickle right now that I do believe we could see the next golden pocket if Trump says, you know what, I'm going back to 84% tariffs for everyone. He said now 90 days. So maybe we could even see over the next 3 months something like this. And then he says, okay, back to 84%, and we dump even further, and we call this now a downtrend. And to see that next level, I simply take my golden pocket from the next major low, and boom, that gives us this level right here that I'm looking at for if we want to see a lower level here. And this could be a massive downtrend on tech stocks and an actual massive bear market, of course, on high risk assets. we then also see the ultimate golden pocket from the entire trend sitting much lower. So just be very, very realistic here. This could be it, right? We could be in for massive downtrend before finally having another bull market. The bullish outcome or scenario to this is, of course, that this golden pocket is our bottom, and potentially, if tariffs do ease up, if things do become a bit more chilled, we could see now a break of this downwards market structure. So what I would do here is I would now draw in ultimate resistance. Boom. And if we do manage to break this, we could see a move back up towards our bullish channel and a continuation of this nice uptrend. And that could, of course, send us to the moon on crypto. All right, one of the reasons I'm saying crypto is near the bottom is simply because of how much support is sitting below us. Right, it could already be the bottom with this nice bullish engulfing candle, but we know the markets are super fickle at the moment, and we could come down to see these levels. And in my opinion, this previous local top down to this level, for me, that could be the bottom for tech stocks. And if the bottom gets put in for tech stocks, we could see that as the bottom for crypto too. So I am seeing one more leg down, right? We want the 69K golden pocket. We want it down to 65K on Bitcoin. We want even a fakey down to 50K on Bitcoin. And that could mean an actual filling of this zone before a nice bottom and we come back up. Maybe even a fakey down here. So I just want to be very clear on the title of this. I think the bottom could be near. There could be one more chance, one more leg down to get ultimate buys, add to our entries before we move into our next leg of the bull market. Right, is everybody following? Is everybody with me? Thank you to the crew for sticking around. I love it. Yeah, Bitcoin dominance cheat sheet, very, very important. All right, drop me a message if you are following. We're doing very, very well. I think it's time to have some fun, right? It's time to go into altcoins. Usually what I do before altcoins is, of course, we look at total market cap. And here we can see that total market cap is right now bouncing from the middle of its golden pocket area. This is one reason why the bottom could already be in, and one reason why we could also see one more leg down to the 0.786 for total market cap. We are very clearly right now in a downtrend for market cap, and it's just when is this going to end, right? The golden pocket could be the place that total market cap actually ends. And just beware, we could see a lot more blood here if we take golden pocket on entire bull trend on market cap. This could be the next major leg down to this level, all the way down to 1.4 trillion, and then back up to test this ultimate resistance. But for me, I'm still hoping we're in a bull market, right? So for me, I want to see a higher high on total market cap somewhere with a fakey below the 0.786, but I want to remain above this level so that this is still an uptrend. Do I see Mr. Miguel? Oh, I just gave you a shout out, my brother, for your beautiful comments on my moving averages. Thank you for being so kind. I do appreciate your support. Que pasa? Let's go, my brother. Welcome, welcome. Let me know how Portugal is. And it's confirmed, bro. Portugal in October. I'm going to see you there. I'm going to Lisbon. Tickets are being booked. And we also have Tomorrowland in Brazil. So I want you to come with me to Tomorrowland. We're going to have the party of our lives. Are you in or are you in? I won't take no for an answer. Hola, amigo! Getting into the Portuguese vibes I can see there. Oh, nice, my G. Oh, my voice is going. What do you think about Pi? I don't like Pi. I just don't like Pi. I don't like Pi because their white paper is so arrogant. They're like, we're the best. We're going to be the best. We do everything the best. And it just doesn't seem humble. Right? Like, personally, I don't want to trade Pi. I don't want to buy Pi. But that's just me. Right? Ben also has a lot to say about Pi, and it's not positive. So, yeah, I don't know. Pi is not on my radar personally. But you are a good trader, bro. If you think there's a golden pocket, you think it's going to cook it. Let him cook, right? I'm not to hate on that. But I don't like the white paper. Read the white paper. I don't like it. The weather's cooking. I hope your trading's cooking too, bro. Lovely to see you. Alright, we got a lot here. If you are on Twitter, please come through to YouTube. Help us smash that like for the giveaway. Pi is like Monero. Interesting. I love Monero. I hope Monero still has a future. I don't know if it does. Within regulations. I mean, it's looking good for Monero now, to be honest, now that Trump has disbanded his whole SEC task force against crypto has been completely disbanded. So privacy coins are looking good. Mining on your phones like it's 2015. Interesting. Okay, I'll give the Pi another chance. I'll give another read of that white paper. I just didn't enjoy it, hey. Alright, so let's go to total 3. Please share the stream for me. Smash the likes. Let me bring up the banner. And of course, get ready for the giveaway. Make sure you are under my link. I've got a lovely giveaway for y'all. We're low on likes. So smash them if you can. Alright, so total 3, you can see that I've got a lot of levels here. I am looking at value area low. I am looking at POC. And first, we are going to see if this current golden pocket can hold us up. This golden pocket might be the end of this downtrend for altcoins. And actually, this total 3 chart to me is looking pretty cool, because there is such a nice sniper line, just like on Bitcoin, just like on most of the actual altcoin charts. This sniper line is going to break at some point, right? Don't get overly bullish too soon. Wait for the actual break and the retest. But at some point, this downtrend is going to end for altcoins. And if we're looking at what I think would be the ultimate low, would just be this fib retracement all the way from the bottom. And there we can see that's giving very nice confluence with our current fixed range volume profile value area low. And we can see, like I say, I think the bottom is near, right? I don't know if the bottom is right here, but the bottom for this blood could be near. I mean, look at this confluence. POC, value area low, golden pocket, looking good. And if we just manage to keep above this level, that will still be a higher low to put in another higher high, which could be an altcoin season for the history books. Alright, any other market charts that you think we should go through? I think let's start to move on to actual altcoins. And of course, we're going to try look at Ethereum. I'm getting pretty bullish on Ethereum. I don't think that Ethereum is dead. Right, there was the very interesting thing that happened yesterday where some Ethereum transactions vanished into thin air, and some were saying this was a government hack, some were saying this is the death of Ethereum. And I think Ethereum will be back, right? I think Ethereum's having a super hard time. If we look at Ethereum against Bitcoin, which is the first chart that I look at before I analyze Ethereum, we can see that something devastating is happening to Ethereum, because it actually broke out of its downtrend right into further blood. And this just looks like a typical Elliott wave theory, right, from previous bear market low. It's crazy. Ethereum has almost erased all of its bull market gains. Why don't you use your fib from the previous swing low? Yeah, so I did that fib. I think you hopped on just after, but I did do that fib, so I'll go back and show you. But yeah, that fib is currently what we're bouncing off. So I did do the fib. I think you hopped on just after. But basically the fib from the previous swing low is our current golden pocket, which could be it. I know you're getting super bullish. And yeah, I did say this could be the bottom. This could be the bottom. This could be the higher low. And we could be now moving towards a higher high. And indeed, that's the first level. Right? If we lose this level, it's down to that larger golden pocket of the larger trend. And we just need to stick above here. Nice, Miguel. It's so nice to have you here, bro. I need you on one of these streams one day in my StreamYard. Right? Gotta make it happen. Alright, let's go back against ETH against BTC. And this is one of the reasons why I'm getting quite bullish on Ethereum, because we're almost at value area low for so much price action. If we take fixed range volume profile back all the way to June 2016, We are below PRC. We are almost literally at value area low for Ethereum against BTC. This, for me, is a time to get hugely bullish on this mammoth altcoin, the biggest altcoin, right? Because our risk to reward ratio is now super juicy. My trade is in the blood on 2x, but I'm going to add to it again. Just when we hit that value area low, because now we can see the risk to reward. If we look, this is not price, obviously, this is Ethereum against Bitcoin. But we're seeing just a beautiful, beautiful risk to reward ratio here. I do personally believe this high will be broken. This high will be broken in time of Ethereum against Bitcoin. And I do believe Ethereum will not outperform Bitcoin in terms of price ever, but that it will outperform Bitcoin in the next bull run for alts in terms of price gain. All right, beautiful. I'm glad you're with me. Thank you, my brother. I love it. Can't believe how much we've got done in 2 hours. This has been like our most jam-packed stream yet. All right, so from here, what I go to is, of course, the Ethereum chart. And another reason I'm getting super bullish on Ethereum is this beautiful sniper line pattern that we are seeing. We're seeing consistently these crazy order blocks, which Ethereum is just bouncing against and getting dumped, annihilated. Bouncing against, all the shorts are coming in, and annihilation eventually comes in. Shorts, annihilation. And in my opinion, eventually, once Ethereum can accumulate some steam, it will break through here and it will change market structure back up to all-time highs and surpassing all-time highs. This, to me, if we look at the entire Fibonacci, it is just looking like Elliott wave theory. I think that's a video that I will do, but we are seeing what looks like a beautiful Elliott wave theory coming into play here on Ethereum. And that means we could literally see that bottom $800, $900 for Ethereum. So add to your trades, open your trades, buy your Ethereum, etc. But of course, use risk management. Don't ape in. Because honestly, I do believe we could see these previous bear market lows. All right, and let's have a look here. This is also one of the things to take note of. All the way previous bear market bottom to our current top. We can see that Ethereum is just hanging on to that golden pocket for dear life. And that could be the fakie below the golden pocket, which could actually drive us back up. Very interesting. If we just make a higher low above there, sure. This could be some kind of clearing out all the noise, still making a higher low. Please let me know what you think of Ethereum. Is Ethereum dead, or is this time to get really bullish? One of the reasons I am getting really bullish here is because of our weekly RSI. We can see daily bulls are coming in. That's nice. They're also getting invalidated. It means there's blood on blood. But if we look at the weekly RSI, literally, the last time we saw levels anywhere near this was all the way down at previous bear market low. We are not in oversold yet, which is why I think there is more blood to come. But we can see that the last time we actually reached into oversold on the weekly, on the RSI, on Ethereum, was one of the ultimate times that you could have ever bought Ethereum. And let's hope that you sold some. Let's hope that you made nice gains. And of course, what's bullish here is if you use your Fibonacci extension, we've got some really nice levels above us, right? Fibonacci extension from previous bear market low to previous bull market high, all the way to Fibonacci golden pocket low. We can still see we have very nice levels, and you can see I have them on my charts here. $8,000, $13,000 for Ethereum if we break all-time high and start to create a breakout structure to the upside. I'm not giving up on Ethereum, right? I'm still bullish. I'm still holding my 2x trade. I'm now almost at $50 on the 2x. I want it to be a $100 trade, so I'm still chilled. I still have the majority of my margin there on copy trading to actually deploy. If you are following me on copy trading, please try to add more. You do not want to miss out on the trades down at these levels, right? We're almost there. We're running the marathon. We're bleeding, but we're almost there. Do not miss out. Do not give up. Have the diamond hands. Have the strength to finish the marathon. This is one of the leading indicators that the altcoin season, the Bitcoin season is almost over, and it's almost time for Ethereum to take over again and give us an altcoin season. It's very nice. It's a very nice signal that the ETH RSI on the weekly is almost in oversold. And we can see stochastic is just begging to bust. Right? Most of you know my rhyming strategy. We can see as soon as the RSI can rhyme with the stochastic in oversold on the weekly, it's time to bust, y'all. And stochastic is just waiting. All we need is one more mega dump for ETH, and it's done. It's done. Alright, let's go. Watching on Twitter. Biruk, beautiful. Please do also come through to the YouTube. I thought you were on the YouTube just now. Ah, there you go. Both platforms. I love it. Alright, Miguel, I would be surprised to see $1,200 ETH. So I think the low was, I mean, it's crazy. I was literally saying $1,500, $1,500, and we hit it. A lot of you thought I was nuts when I said here, $1,500. We clapped it all the way down to 1,300. You say you would be surprised to see 1,200. Interesting. I'm going to draw that line there. Let's see if we hit it. Honestly, I think we could hit 900. I think we could just tap the bottom of the previous bear market low to give us a full Elliott wave, and then we bust. We won't give up. Nice. It's a hard time to be a newbie, but it's also so lucky. If you're coming into the market now, you can just thank your lucky gods that you did not come in to the market up here and put your life savings into the market. I know people personally who did come in right here and put all of their life savings into the market, and they have gotten extremely rickety wrecked. If you are coming in here, you are getting one of the opportunities that we wait years for. It's nice. It's very nice. I'm not saying go all in. Use DCA, use ladder limit entries, buy the dip. But yeah, the buy the dip is really about to come. It's about to come. Alright, beautiful. I think we've done some nice ETH. How's everybody feeling? We're a bit low for views and likes. I think it's because it's a Thursday. Work is not even over yet for most hard workers. But let me know if you are here. And a huge thank you to y'all. Alright, the next letter in the code is actually a number. And it's the number 0. Alright, not the letter O. Remember, there was a letter O. This is the number 0. Alright, so let's have some fun. Let's go into altcoins. I want to look at Solana. I want to look at Doge. There's a lot of positive stuff coming out about Doge being the payment that is being used for SpaceX. Pretty cool. Doge is also going to be used as payment for White House government transactions. Also want to look at XRP because I am trading XRP actively. I have 40 trades open, so I'm ready to look at whatever y'all want to look at. I'd love to look at ADA. I'd also love to look at Link, HBar, Render, Ondo. But let me know what y'all want to do, and we'll try to cover as much as we can before we end off. Christo's here. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, the advantage that you're getting for being a newbie right now is amazing. Like, the timing is on your side, right? So just make sure that you are dollar cost averaging. Watch the dollar cost averaging video, understand the strategy, and you will be fine. You will be golden. I wouldn't want to be chasing price once this last leg takes off. True. True, true, true. We did get a nice wick here at the bottom. But yeah, honestly, because we broke that low, in my opinion, why not come down to this level? Why not come down to at least 1,000? And I will buy another whole Ethereum if we hit 1,000. I will add it to my portfolio. $1,000 Ethereum. We're looking at a beautiful 4x all the way back up to 4,000. It's looking good. It's looking good. Alright, let me know which alts you want to look at. I'll just start it off. Let's do some XRP. Alright, so I did add to my XRP trade. I brought up my entry from somewhere around here. I wanted a little bit more margin in this trade because we took nice profits. And now we want to add those profits back in and I will keep adding to this trade. I'm going to set my next limit order now in case we see more blood. And basically I just want to set a limit order for a little bit more margin here, because this trade is now still very small because we took a lot of profits. So I just want to add another bit of minimum margin just below my entry. I don't think XRP will even hit this level, but it was close. I should have already put a limit order there at the top of this wick, but if we come back down to hit that wick, maybe we'll even go lower, and I'm just going to be quite patient here, and I'm going to put it at 1.48. And I'm just going to add another bit of minimum margin right there. Below my entry, it'll bring it slightly down, and I'll add a little bit to my trade, and I do believe that we will see the breakout here. It's going to be juicy. I can at least see a $10 XRP in the next altcoin bull market. As you know, XRP is doing things, right? XRP is developing. They're not stopping. They don't care if price is going down. They develop, they develop, they develop. All right, let's have a quick look at Solana. I know lots of us are trading Solana, and it's important to look at because, of course, it has been named as one of the 3 assets that have been chosen in the strategic reserve. I wonder if my Solana has actually also gone off. I added a limit order to add to my Solana trade, and I'm glad I've been patient here. But basically we can see that Fibonacci on the larger trend is actually playing out here. We have gotten a tap of the golden pocket. I could see the lower level down here at 60. So that's, I think, where I will add my limit order. Yeah, it was perfect. It was perfect. I think I moved it up. I moved it up. I got a little bit greedy. Like you gave the 1.6, right? I moved it up to $2. So you can see here is where I added to my trade. Did you tell me to add to my trade here at 1.6? Because that would have been ultimate. It's fine. I'm happy to add some there because the trade is tiny. But yeah, the 1.6, dang, I wish I added there. I did. I moved it up. I got a little bit greedy. Oh, you said 1.7, and that's why I should always listen to Bitman, right? Alright, Solana just struggling to break out of its downward sloping channel. I'm just going to be more patient here on my Solana trade. Let me actually quickly check out what's happening with my Solana trade. There's so many trades right now that I just need to try and keep track of them. Oh, so my limit order is a little bit lower, 86. Okay, cool. So my limit order is in the middle of the golden pocket. Right in the middle of the golden pocket. Makes sense, makes sense. I'm going to leave it there. I think we could easily sweep up a little entry back in there. And you see what my problem here was that I didn't take profits at the extreme pump. But all good, all good. I think this is going to be a lacquer one. We just got to be patient. And these are the trades I really want to look at, right? ENA, Uni, Pol, Near, Sui. These are the ones that we should think about adding to because they are the most in the blood and they are still fundamentally power. Fundamentally power. Okay, I want to quickly check out Link. I've seen things have been happening on Link. I'm in the Link trade. I just want to see if my limit orders have gone off there. What is going on? Up 7% in 24 hours. Let's go. All right, so we've got a nice entry here on Link. Looking good, looking good. Finally adding more to the position. All right, on Link, I took profits way too soon. We were in a beautiful trade, and then I took profits way too soon. We went into nice profits, and then I didn't want to take more because I didn't want to close the trade. I had too few contracts, and now you can see I've added to my trade a little bit there. And what I'm going to do is actually set another limit order to add more to my Link trade because it's still a little bit small. I want these trades to be $50 to $100 because I have followers following me on minimum margin. If you are following me, please add to your margin. It's not time to give up. It's time to double down. This is a double down time. All right, so let's just look at this Fibonacci golden pocket on the larger trend on Link. I want to see where I'm going to put in my next entry. Did I add a $10? All right, so there we go. We hit the bottom of the golden pocket and I added at $10. Are my charts clear? Is this big enough for you to see? Do I need to make it bigger or anything? Alright, so what I'm going to do is actually try and move my stop loss down a little bit more. I'm super bullish on Link in the long term. Let's see if they'll let me take my stop loss down. Always check what you're risking at your stop. Check that you're cool with that. It's very chill, so I'm happy. I want to buy whatever blood comes in here on Link. And I do believe once we break back up above this line, it's go time. It's go time, y'all. We're going to break this line. It's going to be beautiful. Let me just try and figure out where I want to put my next entry here on Link. And I would say probably at the next major resistance flipped into support. It looks like we never did retest that, and that's why we came to retest it there. And that's going to be my next entry at 8.47 on Link. Just going to add a little bit on Link at 8.47. Boom, beautiful. We're doing good work. Thank you everybody for being here. I see you, Edward. I see you, brother. Welcome, welcome. All right, I see you've been into the FVGs, you've been into the fixed range volume profile. I saw your beautiful question there. And yeah, maybe we'll just talk about FVGs right now, right? Maybe we'll just talk about FVGs right now for you. Went the market try for those FVGs lower from yesterday's pump? Are you talking about Bitcoin? Are you talking about Bitcoin? I'm not going to go back to Bitcoin too much right now because we did so much, so do recap. But let me know which time frame you're looking at. Let me know which asset you're looking at. And let me know where you drew your fixed range volume profile from. Because actually, if we look at current fixed range volume profile, the one that I'm looking at is all the way from here, all the way up to the top. And we can actually see, so just so you understand, Edward, and everybody give a huge warm welcome to Edward. He is one of my favorite newbies to my community. He has extreme resistance, fortitude, and I think he's going to make it as a pro trader. And everybody please give him a warm welcome. And basically, Edward, the FVG, right, is defined. I'm going to do a video on this after your beautiful question. But it is defined as basically the space at any time between price and your POC. Remember, your POC is your point of control. And I know you've watched the fixed range volume profile video, so you know how to draw them in. But your POC is the most traded level in that current range, and it is your major magnet for price. So your fixed value, your fair value gap, is the distance at any time between price and POC. And currently the fair value gap on this fixed range volume profile is super bullish. Right? You entertain your longs. Right now you have to be careful with your longs. The risk to reward is not ultimate because the value area low is so big, right? So make sure your risk to reward is always there. And actually, it's not the best right now on the longs. So for me, I'm not opening my longs right at the value area low. I'm waiting for this major volume within the value area low to open my longs, because that's where our major confluence is with the golden pocket, and that's where the major volume is. And I realistically do see price coming there before we completely come back up to value area high. And currently, yes, we got a super bullish fair value gap right here. Our fair value gap right now is really nice. We can see Bitcoin's currently dumping, but we can see a 20% fair value gap to POC before it makes up its mind. Does it get rejected there, or does it continue up to value area high? And we can see a nice move from value area low, right? Currently 33% to value area high. But we're also seeing a lot of risk here down to major volume within value area low. So in my opinion, I would be a little bit patient. If you want to enter a long here, of course you can enter a long. We can see the longs have been playing out. But it looks like this liquidity, in my opinion, is being eaten up, and we could easily see a move down to major volume. So you can enter your long, but enter your long with minimum margin, minimum leverage, so you can add to your trade, add to your trade. We call this trade management, right? Managing your entry so that your risk to reward ratio from that level is much better. If you look at that risk to reward ratio up to these highs at the value area high, then you're looking at a 1 to 4, right? Instead of this dodgy almost 1 to 2, not even 1 to 2. I know it's a bit messy, but I hope everyone's following me there. Let's quickly go back to altcoins. We did do quite a lot on BTC, but Ed, you're so welcome, bro. I'm so happy to see you. FVG is a space in time, the time-space continuum. Oh, no stress. I hope you will recap on the entire stream. We did a lot of awesome stuff, and I will also be chopping up the tutorials that we did today into step-by-step tutorials that you can follow easily, so no stress. Yo, my voice is going. Haven't done long live streams in a while. Oh, Christo, thank you for the love. Let's go, let's go. All right, so if you are live with us, drop us a message. Let us know that you're alive. Please sub if you're new. Smash the likes. And don't be a lurker. Ask me your questions. Let me know which altcoins you want to look at. Right, I want to know what's happening with my ADA trade. As most of you know, ADA is my baby. ADA is my baba. What's happening with the ADA trade? There's serious blood on ADA at the moment. Alright, so I did get a limit order. Nice. I did manage to add a little bit to my ADA trade. Very nice. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. So I'm actually going to add more. I'm going to add a limit. We can see that we were actually bringing our entry up. The first entry was somewhere around here. It was a beautiful nuts entry at the breakout. And then we were adding at the lows. And then Trump decided to dump our whole market. And now we can see I'm actually adding in the blood. We were able to take profits above entry. And now we're adding below entry to bring our entry down. This is how you do portfolio margin trades, right? These are the longest time frame trades that you can take. And this is why I use a 2x. So that when this finally busts, and hold me to this, ADA $3 easy, ADA $5 easy, ADA $10, let's fucking go. Alright, so my next one, let's just figure out where the next entry should be here on Cardano. Where's the next point that I can add to my Cardano trade again? That's what I realized looking. Okay, we did realize some. Alright, I believe this is quite a nice spot for ADA because we're below that nice parabolic curve. We're bouncing right now within the golden pocket. Just going to quickly clean this up. I just want to find one lower entry to pop a limit there to add more to my Cardano trade. Are the beats loud enough? We need some vibes. Okay, so right now, because there's such blood, it's really about ultimate Fibonacci's, right? So I'm going to go wick to wick. And yeah, we can see the next real levels are these resistance levels. So let's just draw them in. There was one major one there. And this level I do believe is going to be hit, right? So this is when people were calling Cardano the bamboo shoot. You know, there's that one specific species of bamboo that stays underground for 4 years. It actually just builds its roots underground for 4 years and then it pops up and it grows very quickly, right? Exponentially shoots. That's why they call them bamboo shoots. Lol. Alright, but what we can see with that exponential growth that came in as soon as all that super bullish mass media marketing came into ADA, what we saw was a break of this major resistance line and this one, but there was never a retest. And now we're seeing a front run, right? We're seeing a retest of that line, but we still haven't seen this level. I do believe that is going to be our lows. As soon as we can retest this level here, we're going to go back up. And that, for me, that's 45 cents and 40 cents. Just want to make sure my stop loss is low enough. I don't want to lose this trade. It's a lovely trade. Let's see if they'll let us put our stop a little bit lower. Of course, always see, if you move your stop, always check what you are risking at your stop loss. And let's bring our entry further down. Let's add one, 45, this major support, and 40. For now, let's just do the 45. Remember to always click post only. Make sure it's outside of your spread. Reaper! Oh, what's up, my G? Let us know if you're out of hospital. And props for you, man. Props to you for going to Joburg Gen. That place is something else, my brother. And I really hope you're back home. Well done, man. Well done. I'm so proud of you. And let us know how the trading is going. Alright, so I'm going to leave my next entry there for ADA. Let me know what you want to look at, or is it fine? I'm just being selfish and I'm just looking at my own coins. Alright, Leah's still with us. Beautiful stuff. More than 40 on the previous live. So I did actually do that giveaway, right? I did the giveaway during the previous live, right? Even though we didn't hit 50, I did do something, and then I said I'd do another one at 50. But let's see, how are we doing for this one? We're almost like halfway. Come on, y'all. Get me to 50. If we at least get somewhere decent, I've got a very nice giveaway already set up. So just share it for me. Share it. Let people like it. Help me out. I see we got a nice amount of peeps watching. If you are watching on Twitter, please come over to the YouTube. Help us smash that like button towards our goal of 50 for the giveaway. And let me give the next letter. Alright, the next letter is really the last letter that I will give. Before I give the last two. The only place you could go. What? Crazy. That is crazy. I'm really proud of you, man. That's crazy stuff you've been through. Alright, I really want to check out what's happening on HBar. I love HBar, and I think it has a huge future. I think it's seen a lot of stresses. And yeah, look at that, 13% up. Let's go. Oh, let's go. Back above entry on the HBar trade. Look at that, bullish engulfing. Okay, I hope everyone enjoyed the parallel channel. Look at all those profits taken. Beautiful. And now we're finally adding profits back into the trade. I love it. I love it. Alright, so parallel channel. Where's my favorites? Anyway, parallel channel. Let's just draw it in. It's looking juicy, y'all. We can see currently getting rejected at the median. Maybe we'll come back down. That's where I will add more. So I'm going to put another entry now for about 12 cents. And then, yeah, this is where I will start taking profits again. I think we're going to see a really nice run here on HBar. Lovely to see us adding to our trade and then coming back above entry. How cool is that? We added to our trade, add entry, and then went 13% up with this tiny trade. Nice realized, but tidy trade. So I really want to add more here. And I'm basically just going to look back at previous support. Yeah, 11 cents. 11 cents, y'all. I think HBar is going to melt faces. Alright, lovely to see it back in profit. Oh, I'm almost nervous to look at my Doge trade. I'm still super bullish on Doge. It's been named as one of the asset reserves for the US. It's been named as being used in White House. Alright, chilled. We're in huge blood, but we've got such a small position, so it's chilled. Yeah, I might add some to this trade right now. I've been very patient. I've been very patient. We got a little bit of realized, we got a little bit of blood, everything's super chill. And this is why it's nice to have small trades, right? With low margin. You can always increase your margin. You can always increase your leverage if things are going beautifully, but just try to keep it chill. Yo, I'm thinking it's time. Is there a bullish divergence here? Alright, bullish divergence on the daily. Let's go. Lower prices, higher highs in RSI. Let's see if the OG market cipher B is giving us a bullish divergence, in which case think it will add some to my Doge trade. I do think there's going to be a little bit more blood in the market, so maybe I'll just be super patient and drop a little limit order there. Slightly below current price. Oh, that's where the bull came in. Now it looks like we're going to print another bull. So this daily, Alright, so Edward, this is an indicator that I'm going to get you into in time. We're going to take it slow. But this is the OG indicator that we use, market cipher B. And we can see it's threatening another bullish divergence here. I do believe this triple bullish divergence can be it for Doge. The only thing is here, our money flow is pointing down. And our VWAP isn't giving us a cross to the upside. It looks like VWAP also wants to turn around. Alright, so let's see where our next major level is here for Doge. Looks like right there. That's the level that was picked up already. Let's be a little bit more patient here. And let's go for 10 cents. Tiny trade. Let's add a little bit at 10 cents. Sorry, it's been a long stream. 10 cents. Minimal cost. Let's go. Let's check what we're risking at stop. Super chill. Remember, it's a meme coin, so it can thrash around. Let's bring our stop slightly down. It lets us. Okay, nice. This is a nice sniper line. Once this trend changes, there's a nice risk to reward ratio happening here on Doge, especially because it is one of the 3 US reserve coins that have been named. Right, there are going to be more that have been named, but it's Elon's coin. Elon is the new first lady. He's going to pump this thing. He's going to pump this thing. We're going to be opening some new trades. I'm not sure about opening new trades, to be honest. My new thing right now is to just be so patient that I'm setting limit orders below, so I'm not even opening at market. If there's a coin you think I should set a limit order for, let me know. We can look at what my orders are set at, but I did set a whole lot. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Nice. The likes are coming in. We're moving. We're moving. Haven't been trading. Awesome. No, take it slow. It's almost good that you haven't been trading. The markets have been cack. Did Elon not say he's going to leave Doge? I don't think he will leave Doge, to be honest. I don't think he will leave Doge. Please find me that. Find me that and send it to me, because I want to see that. And then I will be getting a lot less bullish on Doge, because he's been the one who's always held up that hype. And what now? Doge's Department of Government Efficiency. Why will he leave it? What's the alpha there? Okay, I want to look at Render. It is one of the coins that I think is the most fundamentally useful. And we can see it's having real trouble, right? 57% down. This is making me very bullish because Render is so useful. People are using it globally already. Go to CoinMarketCap, do the fundamental analysis if you don't know what Render is. But it's a beaut. Render is an absolute beaut. Oh, look at that. Touched our entry. We managed to add a little bit to the trade. Let's go. Oh, that was actually our new entry. That was our new entry. All right, beautiful. This is looking good. So what I'm going to do here, this could be the bottom. I'm glad we at least got one entry. But what I'm going to do is, where's our stop? My gosh, don't tell anyone you caught me with a trade without a stop loss. At least it's Render. But I entered this limit order without a stop loss. My gosh. Okay, so where should our stop loss be? See, even I can make that mistake. Even I can make that mistake, y'all. Let's try find some kind of index here on Render. Alright, I'm super bullish on this asset. I think it's a nice risk to reward at this point. Let's just have a look from previous bottom, what we could be seeing. This is the golden pocket. Very nice. So I'm going to take my stop. I'm going to put it literally below the floor. Below 35 cents. Something like 20 cents. Remember, these are portfolio position trades that I'm doing here. Alright, always check what you're risking. Doesn't want to let me do it that low. All good, we'll do it at, let's try 30 cents. Oh my gosh. It's too low. It says it's too low. Let's just try $1 for now. And then what we'll do is we'll just drag it and see how low we can go. Alright, there we go. It looks like 42 cents. 42 cents. I'm happy with that. If we get stopped out, all good. It's a tiny trade. We'll open the trade again. This actually does look like a change of market structure is casually occurring. We can see a very nice curve here. And what's so crazy, it's like, how do the most fundamentally useful coins see the most blood? It's like everyone's so skewed. They only follow hype, right? But anyway, we had some nice profits on our previous trade. We did end up then getting stopped out, and here we've opened the trade again at what looks like a legendary entry, and we're only going to add more to this trade right down here. If we come down, I think, what did I just say? I would say right there, next level, 2.11 for minimum margin to add to the trade. Alright, very nice, very nice. What altcoins do you want to do, y'all? Don't be shy, don't be quiet. Let me know what you want to look at. We're almost done. All my funds into copy trading. No stress, bro. I think you're good. I'll check on your funds there. I think you're good. Should I just DCA into BTC? I would say right now the altcoins are looking better for DCA. Like, these are what you want to DCA into. I am actively opening more DCA bots. My DCA is continually running, of course, on BTC, Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, Solana, but I do pause my bots on the other altcoins, and it's these coins: VeChain, Aave, ICP, Algo, Doge, Render. Those are the DCA bots that I'm activating right now. And just when you can, when you make money in other industries, I know you're in other industries, take a little bit, add it to the copy trading. You don't want to miss out on the new entries, but in the long term, it's going to be fine. So just take it easy. Let's go. Thank you, HBar. Appreciate you. All right, what? Elon Musk said in a recent Fox News interview, I think we will have accomplished most of the work required to reduce the deficit by 1 trillion within that time frame. Crazy. One administration official told Politico, anyone who thinks Musk is going to disappear entirely from Trump's orbit is fooling himself. Yeah, no, he won't. Him and Trump have made a bond for life there. But what is this about Doge? A 130-day time limit in his current role as a special government employee. If the start date for Musk's position was the first day of Trump's mission. But can't he just be reinstated? That is very interesting, but he'll still be the founder. Right, so who's to say he won't still market make and pump? I'm loving the info, Reaper, thank you. He would no longer be able to lead the department. He previously told Fox News he thinks Doge will have accomplished its goal. Very interesting. I think he'll still pump it. It's still his baby. He's not going to let it die, in my opinion. In my opinion. That is awesome insights, brother. Alright, I want to have a look at Ondo. It was one of our newer entries. Seems to be doing alright. Alright, it's kind of hovering around our entry. Wow. I established that level, but I didn't add there. Okay, so I do want to add to this Ondo trade at some point. It's a tiny position. Let's bring our stop loss a bit down. The next point I think will be around about here, 58 cents. Alright, what else do y'all want to look at? Let me know in the chat. He can, but he would want to return to her own business full-time. Interesting. Tesla taking a beating due to Doge. So one thing I'll say, right, is that Doge is still a meme coin. Doge is still a meme coin. Wow, I just got an alert on ETH. It looks like ETH is dumping. ETH currently getting wrecked below 1.5. What? My gosh. The ETH blood is not over. Bullish engulfing turns to possible bearish engulfing. ETH blood is far from over, y'all. I want to add to my ETH trade. It's one of the most bloody trades I have. BTC dropping to cover that gap from yesterday. Interesting, interesting. Which gap is that? Oh, so that beautiful bullish engulfing candle on Bitcoin pushed us above the median line, and now we just broken back below it. But it's cool, it's cool. Let's go, let's go. Bring us to the golden pocket. Bring it. I want to see it. I want to see 69k. Give it to me. I want to see this level, y'all. I really do. Alright, market currently dumping. I think the ETH trade, I'm going to be a little bit more patient on. I'm just going to add to my ETH trade at like 1k. I think the next edition will just be like 1k to bring my entry right down. I could see a lot more blood here for ETH. And 1k is obviously a nice round number. It could be a nice bottom, but we're also seeing just very nice levels there, right? Previous pivot point around $1,000. I'm going to be patient to that level. As I say, I think things are going to be fine here for ETH, but we don't want to be too hasty. Patience has been the name of the game. Alright, now's actually a nice time to hop on to copy trading, because you will get the entries right low down. Just be aware, the copy trading is portfolio margin trades. Right, they are long-term trades, and they are currently in the blood, but it's part of the strategy. We buy, we add as low as it goes. We use very small amounts. But just pop me a DM, I'll send you the link, or you can just search for me on copy trading. Search for me on Bybit Copy Trading, Jordan Crypt. You will see me. ETH supports at 1.5. We're currently there. We're currently there. It's crazy. We are a few dollars away from that support at 1.5. Are you going to long this? And then 850. Dang, bro. So, Migs, what are you doing on ETH? What are you personally doing on ETH? And then 850. Dang, bro. Yeah, I see the 850. But then I also see a little bit here, right? Like 1, 2. I'm going to be patient for the 1k. Oh, they had 1, 2. Okay, beautiful. And then 850. I like it, brother. I like it. Alright, how's everybody feeling? My voice is almost gone. Are there any more altcoins you want to look at? I'm here. Speak now or forever hold your peace. I'm here for you. So use me. Right, if there's anything you want me to do fundamental analysis on, technical analysis on, let me know. And I'll drop the third last letter, right? The third last letter in the password is a capital G. And then y'all have just been so amazing that what I'll do is, alright, we did really well for likes. We're past halfway. But I'll say, if you can just keep sharing the stream for me to 35 likes. How's that? I've got a juicy giveaway for you. If we can get to 35 likes, I will drop the giveaway plus the last 2 letters of the password into the academy. because y'all deserve it. But remember, the real value here is the stream, right? The giveaways are extra. I hope y'all aren't going to be upset that you've waited the whole time. And if that's the case, just share the stream. We only need a couple more likes to 35. 8 more likes, and I'll drop it in the academy. 1498 for Ethereum. Dang, bro. Ike is dead. Deaded. We'll be more active from now on. Oh, of course, my G. Of course, my G. Sorry, I've been missing some DMs. If I miss your DM, just ping me. Just ping me so I see it, so it comes to the top. Right, I'm getting hundreds of DMs per day from the Bybit communities. Alright, speak now, forever hold your peace. Are there any other altcoins? Basically, for the altcoins, we just want to look at this altcoin season index. Like, let's have a look at ENA. Alright, what is running on? The Synthwave playlist. So it's currently not public. But I can share the videos. I can share the individual videos for my Synthwave. They're all royalty free, so it's super chill. Alright, but let's check what's happening on ENA. I'm still super bullish on ENA because I think ENA is game changing. It's game changing. One of the best stablecoins ever created. We can also see a nice curve happening, nice megaphone. In my opinion, we might even come to reignite this curve here. But let's take it from scratch. So that's the major resistance to break. Unless this one from now. We can also see major support. I mean, here, if this is a falling wedge, this is going to be nice. The last falling wedge did, of course, get invalidated. So we can't take it as a given that this falling wedge will break out. But most of us know that a falling wedge is a pretty bullish price pattern. We can also see a curve happening here. But yeah, it looks like we're going to get more squeeze and a nice breakout. I'm going to be super patient here on the ENA. I think my next entry is going to be right at the bottom. Maybe I should add some now. I mean, ENA is like bottoming out. Looks like I should just move my stop down, put my next entry all the way there at 22 cents. I do believe in ENA in the long term. I mean, look at this risk to reward ratio right now. It's nice. It's very nice. Very, very nice. 1 to 7.5 looking good. And don't forget about Gala, right? Gala's risk to reward is looking so amazing. Okay, so let's just see what else is in huge blood here. Uni, Pepe, Paul, Near, Sui, Phil, Render, okay, Doge, Algo, ICP, Aave. We are in every single one of these trades. So it's just about setting lower levels. Fartcoin has been ripping true. I'm staying well away from Fartcoin, to be honest. I don't like to trade those memes that are just hype. But yeah, it's been making bank. It's been making serious bank for those that can read TA. Yeah, TikTok is chilled, or Telegram. You can also email me. But yeah, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, anywhere. Okay, so in a Uni. I mean, Uni's still bullish, right? Uni's still OG. Such a nice time to sweep up some trades here. Sweep up some DCA. This risk to reward is epic. This is still in play, y'all. Alright, let me just see what's happening with my Uni trade. CryptoFace is trading Fartcoin. Really? Oh my gosh. Okay, maybe I should check it out. If the OGs are trading it, maybe I should check it out. Yo, we're super close to stop loss here. We've got a very small position. So maybe I should add to my Uni trade right now. I'm gonna see if it will let me bring my stop way down. because we've got a tiny position. Check what you're risking whenever you move your stop. Risking $8, all good. Almost feel like I should just add some to the trade now, right? Remember my little limit order trick that I showed you for adding to a trade on a limit? Because price is obviously dumping now, you can just get slightly outside of your spread and you can add to a trade on limit. You know what, let's have some fun. I'll just show you for those of you who haven't been around. So you just go to the 1 minute time frame and you look at price and you say, okay, I want to enter, but I know I'll get less fees if I enter on limit. So go to your order book and just have a look at your current spread. And on Bybit, of course, the spread is always tiny. So we can see here 4.897 to 4.897. The spread is like, it's nuts tiny, right? It's a decimal of 3, which means that we can actually use that to our advantage, and we can just set a limit order. So first, what you do is you just set your limit for way outside the spread, like 4.65. Make sure it's on the last traded price. And then the value is obviously your minimal, also including your leverage. So with this leverage, that'll be 6. Post only, make sure that it only puts the limit there if it's outside of the spread. And then you quickly go back and you check the spread. And you see it's at 4.88. Right, at the bottom 4.880, at the bottom 4.88. So now it's at, 4.88. So you just make sure that you make it slightly outside the spread. So 4.85, chilled. And we know the spread's super tight, so we can just, like, don't worry if it gets cancelled. If it's post only, it will only cancel. It won't go through as a market order if you put it too close. But just try to put it as close to price as you can while staying outside of the spread. And then you can even go to the 1 second. And basically, as price climbs, try to get as close to that price as you can without it being cancelled. And then you just wait for that limit order to go through. And because these price charts are obviously bouncing up and down so much, it's fairly inevitable that your price will get hit, right? So you just chase price. Remember, we're wanting to add now, but if we add on market, we pay more fees. Especially when you're copy trading, you want to make sure you're paying the least fees possible, right? And there we go. We have entered. We've added to our trade on a limit order. It's that easy. Because Bybit spread is so tight, you can use that to your advantage. So let's see who gets it. I always love to watch who gets it. Two claimed. Let's go. Well done. So I have a BAR. Who is BAR? Bro, I got it, but showing verify now. Yeah, so verify. Send your KYC from your old account. Log into your old account and go to KYC and then send it across. Go transfer identity. But just message me on Telegram and I'll send you the steps. I got this one. Nice. We're going to leave the previous one for now. Oh, dang. Yo, you service restricted. All good. I'll send you a gift to your account. Alright, but there's still 2 more, y'all. I see EFO. Is that Jonathan? I see BAR. I see EFO. Still more. 2 more to be claimed, y'all. 2 more to be claimed. Alright, Jonathan got one. Nice. So you just need an account under my link. That's all. New email address if you already have a Bybit account. Come on, y'all. Still 2 more to be claimed. Jonathan, well deserved, brother. I see there, EFO, pending identity. So just do your KYC. And yeah, send me a Telegram if you need the steps. But you just go to your old account, right? And you go to transfer identity and you input your details for the new account. And you send it. Yeah, Ike, you deserve it. I'll send you a gift to your account. I have your UID. And I'm busy getting your merch pack ready. It's looking hot. I'll see you in Florence. It's soon. Alright, another one claimed. Nix Effects, my brother. Shout out, bro. Much love. Well deserved. Make some dollar with that. Do me proud. Make me some dollar, brother. Alright, one more, y'all. One more to be claimed. I know more of you were here for the entire time. Jibson, the passcode is in the stream. Wait, what did Baruch say? Jonathan. Oh, so do you say Jonathan? Interesting, interesting. Jibs! Oh, it's great to see you, my bro. I was thinking about you, honestly. I was thinking, where's Jibs? Where's Jibs? And your merch pack is also looking hot. Crypto miners, don't stress, bro. You'll get the next one. And if you're really good, what you can do is quickly skim through the stream. Right? If there's no one else who's been here the whole time, you skim through the stream and you get those letters and you smash that password. There's still one more. One more to claim. This is what I input not going through. 9886 empty. No, that's my referral code, bro. You're gonna have to skim through for each letter. Each letter. That's my referral code and the last two letters. Come on, there were more OGs throughout, right? There were more here throughout. I want to see who this last one is. Come on, come on. 304. Alright, if the last one is not claimed, in 5 minutes, I'll give the full code, right? Just for anyone who's here. 5 minutes, if it's not claimed, I'll give the full code. But if you have been here the whole time, or if you have been skimming, you've got a few minutes. You've got a few minutes. Yeah, so if you already haven't, and... oh, there we go. Well, there, it's done. Jonathan did it. But please don't do that, because I still wanted to wait a few minutes. And I don't want to restrict you, so it's all good. Jonathan dropped it. Jonathan dropped it, but... yeah, I'm tired. But if you already have an account, all you need to do is send your identity from your previous account to the new one, right? And Jonathan, please don't do it in future. Please don't do it in future, but I do believe that is the code. Yeah, that is the code, y'all. And Jonathan's just being generous and kind. He was here the entire time to pick up that entire code. But let's go. Who's the last one? Still no one. Still no one. There's still one more, y'all. Shot. Yeah, I actually have work to do now. Would you believe it? I have work to do now. But it's all good. No rest for the wicked. Guys, there's still one more. There's still one more. Oh, Husseini got it. Husseini got it, and well deserved, brother. Well deserved, Husseini. I see you, bro. I see you. Even if you were just here in and out. Well deserved, and thank you to my crew. It's been absolutely emotional as always. Thank you everyone for being here. Please do me one favor. Once the stream is actually done and the live chat is closed, drop me a comment underneath the stream to push the algorithm. And I will be dropping a new video tomorrow at 12 p.m. my time, 11 a.m. Western African time, 10 a.m. UTC. It is a tutorial on how to set yourself up as a Bybit P2P merchant. It's a nice way to earn income, nice way to move. So keep your eyes out for that. Of course, smash the likes for me on that. Share it as much as you can. And I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone for being here. One more time, I just want to drop my Trading Academy link for anyone who is not involved yet. Very important. Please do join in the Trading Academy. That's where I'll drop all of my updates there. And yeah, I think we'll do another live stream next week during the week. It's been really fun. I do appreciate you all being here. I will also be dropping those CME tutorials and the parallel channel tutorial So yeah, you can see I struggle to get off because I love being with my crew. But massive shout out to everybody. Thank you so much. Please remember, always play from a position of power and strength. Use your stop loss and do not get wrecked. I will see you in the communities. One love. Goodbye.